Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Tuesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark. Bob, we have made it through our first full week of football, all the way from Thursday night to Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, last night, culminating in the Bay Area where the 49ers handled the Jets' business as they came into town. Happy Tuesday to you, buddy. We made it to the weekend.
It's the weekend. Football's over, finally, for 2 days.
Yep.
Long may it rain. Nice little full week there. I mean, Lions and Rams on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers going back to the Bay on Monday. You thought it was going to be good after you put together that drive. Aaron's still a surgeon when you give him some time, and guys are, I wouldn't even define him as open. He was throwing the ball to the back of defenders' helmets to Garrett Wilson. Garrett can go get the ball.
Garrett's going to have a lot of yards this year.
Garrett is going to have like 140 catches.
Yeah.
I saw this come out from my guy, Hembo. Oh, goodness. It was receivers that had more than 200 targets maybe, or 250 targets or something like that. And it was like Calvin Johnson in 2012, Marvin Harrison Jr. in like 2003. Oh, goodness. And there was someone else. And he's like, there's a good chance Garrett Wilson will be joining that list.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would say that's safe because Aaron trusts him to go get the ball. And he'll put it only where he can go get it. And he'll throw it with a laser quick release. And, hey, let's see what we can do. And it's good for the Buckeye out there to see what he's got.
Absolutely it is. He wasn't even the leading receiver last night. For the Jets, you had Alan Lazard.
Well, he had the one long one down the sideline.
Yeah, 36 yards for that one, but he was targeted 11 times.
Yeah. So that's, you do the quick back math
11
right
times
there.
17.
You're getting close.
Mm-hmm.
And last night they hardly had the ball. San Francisco, my wife, this is no joke. We're watching the game. This is not a joke. Serious.
Lost his job.
Lost his job. No one's laughing, Bob. It's okay. No joke, Beam. My wife's watching. We're watching this. She goes, I haven't watched the Jets have the ball. I'm like, well, that's because the Niners have 17-play drives.
The 49ers had the ball last night for 39 minutes.
Yep. So that makes sense why you felt like you were watching it 2/3 of the game time. The Niners had the ball.
Yeah.
So, yes, when Aaron had it, there was a lot of 3-and-outs. They could not protect him. They're like, well, he was never sacked. I'm like, because he gets the ball out so quick. Yeah. But guys weren't really winning.
Ain't no tapping that ball with Aaron Rodgers.
No, he gets it out.
That ball.
And he puts it where his guys can get it. They've got to get the receivers going. Breece Hall had the fumble.
Yep.
I mean,
had a couple of picks.
And
they're forcing
the one pick, when you're throwing into man coverage, the guy deflects it and it gets picked off by another man defender whose back was to the ball originally. I'm not going to put that on the quarterback. That was ridiculous. But Breece Hall had some drops. And I'm not absolving Aaron. He didn't play a perfect game by any stretch. But, they've got some work to do. But I think if you're the AFC East, you're thinking, okay, this guy's
he's still alive.
He still has what it takes. Now, can he go through a whole season healthy? Well, that remains to be seen. But last night, he went against probably one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in the NFL, minus the probably. And I thought he looked okay, given the fact that this team had a bunch of new pieces and parts. They're trying to work it all out.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good game. Obviously, the storyline for the San Francisco 49ers was that Christian McCaffrey was not playing in the game because he's dealing with that Achilles.
Now, Christian can do a lot more things and be more versatile.
Jordan Mason, though, in the spot start for him.
150.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is not a joke.
They
can run the ball.
Yeah, they could just really do anything against that Jets defense. And then it got to me thinking the other point. I'm like, boy, that'd be nice for them to have Hassan Reddick, wouldn't it?
I think Robert Saleh probably thought that too.
Yeah.
I think I actually thought that in the offseason. Said, you know what, if we could use one more defense.
We should go out and get this guy.
My wife goes, I thought their defense was supposed to be good. I'm like, here's the irony. They traded for somebody.
Yeah.
Gave up like a second or third rounder who's pretty good. Here's the thing. I don't know if they talked to him before the trade and realized, hey, either A, it wasn't just the Eagles and he wanted a new deal, and B, how much did you actually want?
Or did I even want to play for the Jets at all?
I think he would pay if he was going to get paid what he wanted. And so did they ask about that? Did they inquire? The guy's holding out for a reason.
Yeah.
You thought, hey, he's just going to come here and play for us? What are we doing?
At the same rate?
At the same rate. That be my idiocy. I will never understand the bounds. Don't ever underestimate the bounds of human idiocy. I promise you that. It gets thick and fast and bumpy in a hurry, man. It is ridiculously.
Especially with the New York football Jets.
Exactly. Like the Jets, they just jetted up, Bean.
They really do. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Ryan Day was on Buckeye Roundtable last night. You're going to hear from him. Interesting stuff from Ryan Day, how they're going to focus on this quote-unquote bye week. Yeah, it's improvement week. They're not taking the week off, so we'll do that coming up here in our next segment. Schlegel is going to join the program. That is Anthony Schlegel for you, coming up here at 6:35. I was told to say his full name because people may not know who he is. So Anthony Schlegel joins us coming up here at 6:35, 7 o'clock hour. Browns had an interesting day yesterday, Shark. They signed some player to the practice squad who I know you're probably super pumped about. So we'll get into that coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll react to week 2 of the college football slate, our biggest takeaways from week 2. Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts, he's going to join us at 7:35. Schlegel reappears at 8:05. And then Uncle Beau, a.k.a. Beau Bishop, he joins us at 8:35. Before we get into anything else today, it is Tuesday, the 10th day of September, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Robert, what do you got lined up for us this morning, buddy?
Well, it is September 10th, the 254th day of the year. 112 days remaining in this 2024. This date, 1950. The man who used to date Marilyn Monroe, Mr. Joe DiMaggio, becomes the first player to hit 3 dingers, Beam, in a single game. You know what it is?
Dinger Tuesday.
It's a Dinger Tuesday. Been a nice little payday for you. This date, 1960. Mickey Mantle hits a jack 643 feet, Beam. How's that sound? Shark, did they ever test him for juice? Or just booze?
Greenies. They used to do greenies back in the day.
They do that to offset the stench of alcohol and to sober him up. In a shot over right field, or the roof in Detroit.
What's a greenie?
You don't know what a greenie is?
No.
Oh, greenies
Never heard
it's
of
like
it.
speed, Beam.
Oh, good.
Amphetamines. They were green. They just reach. It was like trick or treat. You reach and get a handful right to the beak.
That sounds...
It's like a cup of coffee back in the day.
Woo.
Yeah, look up greenies, Beam. It'll be a good thing
When
for
would that
you.
have been? Like the 19...
Dude, they were having greenies in the 90s.
Okay.
This day, 1972, The Doors. Jim Morrison, he finally broke on through, Beam. He played their final concert in the Hollywood Bowl in California. And then 1997, Mark McGwire hits 50 home runs for his second consecutive year. Some birthdays today. We've got, born in 1929, they call him the People's Champ, the King. He's got a great nickname given to him by Schlegel for a drink that Schlegel created. Arnold Palmer, a.k.a. Arnie Palmy.
In 2012, Palmer earned more than any other golfer except Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. A cool $36 million. That's partly because one of the fastest growing beverages in the United States is the combination of 2 classics, iced tea and lemonade, that Palmer himself popularized after ordering the concoction in a diner in the 1960s.
I've had a big glass of iced tea and I shared a little lemonade on it and mixed it up, and boy, was it good. Well, a lady at a table heard me do that and she said, I want a Palmer.
The Arnold Palmer brand did nearly $200 million in sales in the U.S. last year. In this New Jersey factory, the company seemingly can't make the product fast enough. On this day, producing 600 cans a minute.
You know what's amazing is that happened in a diner. Tiger was in a diner, and one of the waitresses said, I'll have a tiger, Shark.
Bob.
Is that not how the story goes?
How about that ESPN, that Sports Center commercial back in the day? It's Van Pelt lined up right behind Arnold Palmer, and he's mixing the iced tea and the lemonade, and they're all just staring at him like, wow, look at the legend at work.
So great.
Yeah.
One of the best. Buck Buchanan, born on this date, 1940, the Chiefs Hall of Fame defensive tackle. Bill O'Reilly turning 75, the famous newsman. I hope you found this classic for us, Shark.
That's tomorrow. And that is it for us today. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. Okay. Yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it. Okay. Sure. There's no words there to play us out. I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
It's great.
That's why Beau starts his show like that.
We'll do it live.
A little inside radio.
Absolutely terrific. Randy Johnson turning 61, the Hall of Fame pitcher, also bird destroyer.
2-2 to Castro. Randy Johnson has tied the Major League record for strikeouts in a 9-inning game. 20 for the big unit.
Big unit was pretty darn impressive. Ryan Filippi turning 50. Used to be married to Reese Witherspoon Beam. Unfortunately, that didn't last. And then finally, Joey Votto turning 40 years young, recently retired.
I wish that I had not wasted the last 6 months of my life. No major league interest in the offseason and free agency. I reached out to the Toronto Blue Jays, my hometown team, and signed a minor league contract with them. And I got hurt in spring training, and truly, it feels like retirement since last fall. It feels like my last game in Cincinnati was, everything went quiet. There was no interest. When you're not on stage, nobody cares. I wasn't able to perform and compete in front of fans on television, do interviews. Your phone goes cold. Your circle gets really, really small. It's really felt like retirement over the past 9 months.
Retired.
I mean, are we supposed to be feeling sorry for him right there, Shark? What was that?
Yeah, he did just fine. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he wishes he wouldn't have tried to extend his career. It was a waste of time.
He was done.
Yeah.
They retired him, and he didn't know it.
Yeah.
That's how it usually works in sports. Oh, my gosh.
They should bring him back for the last 20.
Did you watch
the
him
Reds
play?
should bring him back for the last 20 games.
Did they watch him play at the end of the season?
Have you watched them play?
Yeah, they're bad.
They did beat the Braves last
night. Some holidays observances today. Oh, goodness. It is International Makeup Day, National Hot Dog Day, which is also on July 17th, Swap Ideas Day, TV Dinner Day as well. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date. September 10th, the 254th day of the year, 112 days remaining this 2024.
Good job on that, Bob. As always, Ryan Day says the Buckeyes will not be taking their bye week for some time off as it's improvement week. We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Tuesday. Right now, we're watching a clear commute for you. No crashes to tell you about. 33 out in Plain City starting to pick up, and I-71 also getting busy as you make your way into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan traffic.
Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. Visit GreatLakesKia.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When it comes to being a Newman Roofing customer, you can trust they're always going to put your needs first. They're going to give you the white glove treatment so you feel confident you're making the best decision. So don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF, NewmanRoofing.com.
Barely 5 hours a week. It's how much time most of us spend outdoors. Not nearly enough time getting lost in canopies of breathtaking fall colors. Brilliant hues extending all across America's third most forested state. We could all use a little more time outdoors, soothing mind, body, and spirit in West Virginia. Plan your fall getaway at wvtourism.com.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time, except for two things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? TrueHold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. TrueHold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much TrueHold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's TrueHold.com.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We are live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown, dumb since day one. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Trust. Not everyone deserves it. Not everyone should have it. It needs to be earned. Your trust. And when it comes to accurate information about Ohio's safe and secure elections, where should you turn? VoteOhio.gov. VoteOhio.gov is the source for providing you with the facts and real information about elections. So no matter where you are, what you do, or who you choose, get the real facts about Ohio's elections. VoteOhio.gov, your trusted elections source. Sponsored by the Ohio Secretary of State, Frank LaRose.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot of sunshine out there today. Temperatures remain above average with a high of 86. Sunny tomorrow, high of 90. Sunny on Thursday with highs in the 90s. And then clouds return on Friday with highs back down to the 80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment around 6:33, as he does every Tuesday, Anthony Schlegel joins the program. Hey, right now, we don't do this very often in the early hours. Bob, why don't you give me a number?
Let's do number. I was going to say number 2 for JK when he was here. That's too quick. Let's go with number 5.
Caller number 5 for Garrett Wilson.
Let's do that. Nice game last night.
Caller number 5, 614-821-9710. I was going to say get the answer into Shark, but that's coming a little bit later. You call in, you talk to Shark, and you're going to get a pair of tickets to go see Martin Lawrence. Comedy legend Martin Lawrence is stopping by Nationwide Arena Saturday, September 21st. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster. 614-821-9710. Caller number 5, talk to Shark. You'll be walking away with a pair of tickets to see that. Also, good news for you is that you say, oh, boy, Buckeyes play that day. Am I going to have to miss that? No, because Saturday, September 21st, it was just announced yesterday that the Buckeyes will play Marshall at noon.
First
nooner of the season for us.
There we go. So it all works out for you, folks. We're going to be trying to give you away stuff every day now during the morning hours, the wee hours. So thank you for tuning in and listening. We appreciate
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Super pumped about that. How was your Monday, man? All right?
Monday was good. Did the show with Schlegel yesterday. Enjoyed that. Went to watch my daughter play tennis. Unfortunately, they had flipped around the schedule. My in-laws, who had waited up here all day Monday before going back home to watch her play, so she didn't end up playing. I'm like, could we not have maybe sent an email about that since we're going to change the lineup up of what's going to happen? Probably didn't find that out right before the match. I'm guessing we knew that a little prior.
She was like Christian McCaffrey. Knew that he was going to be out since Friday.
Mailed out. I've had this jersey someone sent over here. Mailed that out yesterday. I did a hit on Outkick. What else? I don't know. Instead of bouncing around, Beam, doing a number of things. But it was a pretty good little day. Got a 30-minute nap in. Wished it would have been a 45 minutes to an hour, but didn't have any more time.
Yep.
So I wanted to watch some Monday Night Football and watch most of that last night. So felt pretty good. Very productive day.
Good.
Got a little lift in. Made fun of John Simon for tearing his triceps some more, and that's pretty much it. Told some great stories about one of my favorite things to do. So I get usually Nate Ebner and John Simon will be in lifting after I leave here, and we'll work out together. And one of the great things is to tell old stories from guys that were here, ghosts of Buckeye past.
Yeah.
And it's funny when there's current players around listening to them that they would. It's like them hearing a story of North Dallas 40 and realizing that was actually real, that actually happened.
Yeah.
Because it's so far-fetched of some of
We don't do that here anymore.
Well, some of the characters that were there, the human beings, the guys, there's a player that I guarantee you who played on the D-line with your guy, Mike, that if we asked about him, he would have some pretty tremendous stories about. And
there were a few characters on that line.
I think you're thinking about a guy in the NFL. I'm thinking a guy who was a really good college player. Yeah, there's a lot of characters out there and things that happened for a long time prior. And now, all these guys are good dudes. They're very faith-based.
Family men.
Family. They don't go out. They don't party. They don't do any of those things. It's tough to do all that. They try to maintain the edge and still not do that. But there were some guys with a sharp edge back in the day, to say the least. Dudes, you go back, and I play with guys that, were robbing people on the oval at night with a gun.
Jeez.
Real life, That's some of the stuff that we had going on. Dudes that used to go beat the hell out of people on High Street. Just because.
You looking at me funny? No.
So you'd go get drunk and want to fight somebody. That was the impetus of their night. What are we going to do? That's why Tress would always tell us, remember who you are, give thanks and worship, contact your loved ones if they could not be here to see you, and remember, tomorrow is promised to no one.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was saying that because of what you might do tonight.
Speaking to the whole room, or you just speaking to a few key characters?
I think he always felt if it hit you, if it touched you, then it was probably meant for you.
You were target audience.
I always tell someone, if you feel like I'm talking to you, then the shoe's probably fitting, okay? Mm-hmm. So you can try to say whatever you want in your mind, but that is the truth. And so he started to tell some of those old great stories of things that transpired over the last 20 years here at Ohio State. And one of the trainers has been here since 93. And so he's got all the great, the stories he has, the book that he would be able to write, Beam, he could probably do a 5-season, 10-episode series of Buckeye story.
Who, Tress?
Of just from 93 on. No, one of the trainers there.
Okay.
My man Doug, because he's been here forever. Of the things that he has seen.
If these walls could talk.
If these walls could talk, the stuff that has been seen and said, and the stories ranging back, like I said, to the mid-90s when you're talking about, Vrabes and Galloway and Eddie, Pace, Fick, those days. Then, the cluster when I was there. Then the end that we always joke, the end of Tress's tenure was held up by a handful of guys who kept that thing in line. And when you pulled James and Malcolm and some of those dudes' heart out of that mix, it slowly just
jumps off a cliff.
We were talking about a little Weezer, just pull this thread as I walk away. That's kind of what it was.
Sweater song.
Guys who kind of straddled both of us, and then the early urban initiation phase of the weed out process, if you will, getting some of those guys to the level to where either A, they realized Ohio State wasn't for them, or B, this is what it would take to play at Ohio State now. And so, like, that whole process was really good. And so sharing those stories yesterday, and we had about 45 minutes of them, like, this is the stuff that the folks really want to hear. The problem is that you wouldn't be able to go out in public anymore afterwards.
No.
You would be canceled and shamed, even if you were only adjacently a part of the stories, just simply for being a character in a reoccurring role.
Congratulations to Kyle from Caledonia. He's the winner of the Martin Lawrence tickets. He's going to get to go see him Saturday, September 21st. Congrats to him on being caller number 5. Ryan Day made his weekly call into Buckeye Roundtable last night. What's this week looking like, the quote-unquote bye week for the Buckeyes?
Just about every team across the country is playing a game this week, and we're only into week 3. And each week, teams improve, and we have to improve as well. So typically when you look at a bye week, it's to, get healthy and get your rest and, mentally, physically across the board. We're not there. We just played 2 games, and, we want to stay in our rhythm of a game week the best we can. And we certainly have a lot to work on.
Here was a follow-up on it as well.
We came in yesterday and went through the film, put that to bed, and then we'll have a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice where we'll be working on fundamentals. Each coach has got to really, give some feedback to each of their players on what he feels like they need to improve on individually, and then as a unit. We obviously won't practice on Friday or Saturday. We'll be able to rest a little bit, and then we'll get right back into it on Sunday.
It is weird having this week 3 bye week, right? And then you jump back into it, and then you have the week after the Oregon game, Bob, or before the Oregon game?
After the Oregon game.
It's after the Oregon game against Nebraska, right? It's a bye week, and then you get Nebraska, I think, on the opposite end of that. So, I mean, it is interesting. And to his point, like, Purdue already had an off week, too. Like, they had an off week this week.
One of the stories that kind of came up was in 2002. Do you remember the schedule that year, Sharky, of how that went?
2002, yes. Yeah. We became the first team in college football history to go 14-0.
But we played in the Kickoff Classic, I believe.
Yes.
August 24th, I think, was the date of the game.
Yeah.
And then we had the bye week over Labor Day weekend, and then proceeded to play 12 straight games after that.
12 games in 12 weeks, and about 9 of them were 1 score or less.
That's good. You always say the suspense is killing you. I hope it lasts.
Oh, yeah, for sure you do.
So that was good to the last drop every week. But I go, this is kind of like that. I go, what's different? You guys get a second bye week, which I think, Ryan, depending on how everything goes, will treat that more like a traditional bye week. But this was like, you've got to keep the momentum going. You just played a flawless game almost on offense and defense. And how do you keep this going? Well, you do some good on good. You challenge the guys. You stay in your routine. You come in Sunday, give them Monday off, go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe get a couple of days off this weekend, bring them back in on Sunday next week, and get into like a normal game week again. And so I think that's kind of the plan of what they want to do and how they want to operate.
It's Tuesday, and Anthony Schlegel's all fired up about the Buckeyes. He's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no crashes to report. We are watching things pick up on 33 out in Plain City, also on I-71 right near Polaris. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $300 cash bonus when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free for more details.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and American Nitro Smokin' Hot Wingin' Music Fest presented by Lowe's is back for year 2, and I'm so excited. We got the wing smoking competition that I'll be judging. Cold beer, food trucks, tons of wings, and a great cause. We're raising money for Ghosts of War, providing immediate assistance to veterans in need. So get your tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Free admission for all current and former military members. Brought to you by Lowe's, Columbus Chamber of Commerce, Dave & Buster's, Valpak of Central Ohio, Heidelberg Distributing, and more.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling, and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward. Most goals we set for ourselves have a pretty clear course. My family wants a trip to Disney World. So you read a couple of reviews, talk to a few friends, save up some money, and then you book it. There's maybe a couple of choices along the way, but overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, what if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds? Where's the clear path there? You read reviews, talk with a few friends, and try something out. When it doesn't work, you're disappointed. We've all been there, and it sucks. Know what I say? Stop trying and do what I did. Start doing. Reach your goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped 55 pounds with my first go at it, and it was simple. A word I never associated with weight loss, except now when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Friday nights mean high school football. Join us for the fans' high school game of the week.
This week, Dublin Kaufman at Pickerington North.
Live coverage starts Friday night at 6. Your home for Friday Night Lights. The Fan.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
In his ads, Sherrod Brown talks about common sense. It's just common sense. But Brown's record shows a complete lack of common sense. Sherrod Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Common sense. And Brown introduced a bill to allow transgender biological men in girls' locker rooms. Common sense. Brown supported allowing minor children to receive sex change surgeries. And Brown-backed Bidenomics, reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar on gas, groceries, electricity, and housing, making life harder for Ohio families and seniors. It's just common sense. Actually, it's nonsense. Brown's extreme liberal policies make absolutely no sense outside of Washington, D.C. But that's the real Sherrod Brown. He's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
All right, sports fans, let's talk stats. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. And of those men, many will experience bladder leaks. That's why Depend is partnering with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage getting screened. Because if caught early, prostate cancer is up to 99% treatable. I like those odds. Depend is also donating to prostate cancer research for select purchases now through November. Learn more at Depend.com. From September through November, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. For Depend Shields, guards, real fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000. Void in Mississippi.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like CertainTeed Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase CertainTeed through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
Week 1 of the NFL in the books, and I think we're ready for more. We're going to enjoy the weekend here on Tuesday and Wednesday, then we're going to get back to it on Thursday. And FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is continuing its special offer to keep us watching more now through September 22nd. That is rapidly approaching. That's 12 days away from right now. All FanDuel customers, you can bet $5, get a 3 free-week trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV just to see how it feels, Bob. There's no commitment to it. I mean, you sit there on Sunday afternoon, you get the quad box, even pull in 2 TVs. That's what we call the Octo Box.
Oh, it's tremendous. If you didn't do it last Sunday, make sure, folks, you get it. All you need is a YouTube TV base plan. You'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment. You can cancel anytime. Thank you, FanDuel. So visit FanDuel.com/juice to download America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 or older in present Ohio. Full price of NFL Sunday Ticket will be automatically charged seasonally after free trial. No refunds, terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
Sponsored by Sugar Shannara Accident Attorneys. We go to war for you at warforyou.com. That's warforyou.com.
And this time every Tuesday, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking with the man. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Schleg Day, buddy. What's going on?
What's crapping in Columbus? Hey, it's a good day. It's Tuesday. Doing some legs. Feeling frosty. Buckeyes win. What do you guys want to talk about? Like, I can talk for days.
Let's talk about the Buckeyes. 99 yards on defense. That was pretty awesome. And a shutout. That was great.
What the Sam Dickens are we talking about? Like, on the Bobby Carpenter show, you know, we discuss these things. And really, when it's like, hey, who are you going to give the defensive player of the game to? Like, they obviously gave it to Ty Hamilton. He had a great game. And side nugget, like, honestly, do you guys just want, like, look at the size of his arms? Like, his arms are ginormous. Like, they're so girthy, all right? And Ty is automatically a really strong dude and a great dude, but good to see him that he did that. Here's the thing. There's a quote out there by the head coach of Western Michigan. He was like, yeah, they are even, you know, bigger and scarier in person. Now, but we also – Yep, that is a scary thing right there. Yeah. But here's the deal. It's a team effort. It's a mindset. It's an attitude. And we've been talking about it since January. It's just fast, hard, and violent. And I think, and Ryan has alluded to it, right? You want to play fast. Like, obviously there's a ton of speed all over the field. But also playing fast has to do with knowing what to do, football IQ, et cetera. Playing hard, he's like, hey, one of the things that we want is, you know, for Champions Club, like, grade out a champion, yes, but is when they throw on the tape, like, are we playing hard? Because that's something that you can control. And then the violence that they're playing, which is especially on defense. And I'm going to say this, too, like, people just go watch blocks. I mean, I think it was like the first or second play of the deal where Austin, as I just called him, Austin leg drive, he's like a sophomore. He already has a sweet receding hairline. I love him. But he blocked the guy into the sideline. I saw G was blocked another dude in the sideline, and then Carnell got like a 36-yard pass after that play. And, I mean, guys, like, people were finishing, and we talked about it even in the first week. Like, that's where you want to see corrections, right, and then executing. And they did that. They pulled the guard. Boom, they kick out with the guard, run up with the tight end on that. They did it all game long. Now you're going to see other things happen off of that, right? You're going to see where, like, if I'm playing Ohio State as a linebacker, Bob, and you would know this too, like, you down block and you run that scheme, boom, spill over the top. But then guess what happens? Now that's where the play action pass happens, right? And all those things. So it's like, boom, we're going to try to stop Trey. We're going to try to stop Q, and poof, David Copperfield. We're going to throw a hitch to JJ. He's going to take it 70 yards to the house, or we're going to throw this to Emeka. And shoot, Brandon Ennis had a good one where it was like a post, like a 7. I don't know what it was. Boom, but he actually went flatter than what that would be. So, anyways, great route. Carnell, like, guys, listen, man, there's talent all over the place. When it comes down to executing, I thought they executed really, really well.
So, like, if you're the middle linebacker, you had a great read on that play action where they run the little flat curl, little hook in behind it with Will. Do you think you would have been able to turn and catch JJ?
I would not have. First off, I know myself, right? So, well, like, here's the point. Would I have even been in that position? So he was the number 1 receiver that became the 2, right? And then, let's see, what did the inside guy do, Bob, on that play?
You went flat.
Okay, so, yeah, curl flat, right?
Yeah.
The hard thing with that is, especially in zone, are you pushing through that? So that would mean I'm the hook curl guy. But, again, they're that wide. I'm like, geez, that sounds terrible. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a bad predicament. Like, I'd be like, Coach, don't put me in that spot, bro. Like, now, if you're like, hey, what did the back do on that?
I'm trying to pull it up so I can see, but I think the back went to that side.
If the back went to that side, you automatically have to expand, right? That's the first thing. But, like, guys, like, here's the deal. You're not expecting a 7-yard curl. You're going to have to make that play. You know what? I was watching the good game last night, Rams-Lions, by the way. They ran one. It was like Cooper Kupp did one, and you're like a linebacker. Oh, no. It was Jamison Williams. He was coming on like a crossing route. I'm like, dude, if you're a linebacker and you're playing that run really hard and you don't jam him, right, or you're 4 and first crosser and they flood that way and you're like the weak side linebacker and you're going like, hey, man, just be slow to go because look at who you got coming across. I think he might have even motioned in. But again, guys, listen, and this is just for the general public. Those are all the things that you're doing. You're like, well, why don't they just sit on that? Like, why? Guys, there's like a bunch of stuff that you're processing, and yes, they should, right? But also you've been getting a heavy dose of certain things all game, and then very slightly they change personnel or they put a different guy in motion to set up the same formation, but now he's going to be running the over on like for first crosser deal, right? Because they think that you got you right. And that's also why those guys are motioning and trading. You guys are really realizing, this is what I love about Chip stuff. Like he didn't even open it up. He just window dressed things that we haven't seen before.
It's like wigs and costumes.
Now everybody, who doesn't like, what's it, crossplay? Who doesn't like that, Bob? I know you do. Shark does for sure. But that being said, like you got to see all those different things, and it puts the defensive guys in a bind. That goes into film study. That goes into, football IQ, but there's a lot to process. And when you throw in the talent on top of it, and you got guys playing very, very hard. Guys, I don't know if I saw a running back go sideways or backward in that entire game.
I think Peoples lost 2 yards. That was the only negative rushing that there was, I think, in the game.
But let's go back to what everybody was talking about the last week versus Akron. And again, I know it's Western Michigan, but it's also Western Michigan that played at Wisconsin like 19-12 or whatever it was, right? Mm-hmm. And that were successful on third down in that game, better than Wisconsin was, So we did what we wanted to do in this game as far as like everything that we talked about. You and I on the show, Bob. Start out fast. They started fast, bro. They started fast. They played fast, hard, and violent for 4 quarters. It didn't matter who you threw in the game. Guys were executing. Sand went 2 for 2. Devin went 5 for 5. Will started out 10 for 10. Like you look at the totality of the game, and then even, people that are hindsight 20, well, they didn't have this guy or this guy. You still got to go execute. And they did. And for a defense to shut out and then hold a team in college football to less than 99 yards, and then also go backward in the standings and it's crazy, but it's cool. I'm happy. Yeah, you know what? I'll give Texas a pass because they beat that team up north, aka Michigan, in the Big House. I was really thrilled to watch that game, but still, great performance. Great performance.
Hey, before we get you out of here, how about your boy K-Mac? Because I think we've been talking about him for a little bit of time here, and I think Ohio State fans got a taste of just how good that guy can be on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and here's the thing, guys, that you guys got to understand. I mean, you play Akron, you play Western Michigan, you're off, right? Which is good and bad being this early, but it's fine. You're going to train through it. Then you're going to have a little bit of time over the weekend to recoup, right? Regather yourself. And then now it's go time. You got Marshall. The thing that they're trying to develop right now is the depth, especially the depth on the offensive line and defensive line, right? The interior guys. The depth they have on the perimeter when it comes to the defensive ends, but it's growing, right? Live situations, the depth on the interior of the defensive line and the depth on the offensive line, because you're only as valuable as your second best option, and the only way that you can have second best options is if coaches and players absolutely trust those guys. And so that was great to see from K-Mac. You've seen it from the secondary. Aaron Scott had some good plays. Jalen McClain had it. I'll tell you this, one thing too, and I've said this from the jump, just being able to witness it, but in that game, Caleb Downs plays really, really fast and physical guys. Now, he read and reacts, and I think Jake talked about it on the cat, he pulls the trigger, right? There's no when he decides to come downhill, the dude's coming downhill now. And again, I think it's great because it allows Lathan to do kind of what Lathan does, right? He can sit back and he can read, but he reminds me of just probably a more athletic, fluid Dante. He is that type of guy because he'll come down and play in the box. He's very, very physical, but you have 2 safeties that are extremely physical guys. I mean, everybody's out there. It's just the prerequisite. So it was good to see some of those younger guys in the back end of the game, but even the guys moving forward played really fast. But yes, K-Mac, we need to work on McDonald's. I don't know what they're doing right now, but that would be a good Columbus thing, just like we had the Schlegel, for K's, the Schlegel or whatever. We could do something local market with we know guys that own a bunch of McDonald's in Columbus, Ohio, Bob. I'll leave it to you because you're there more often. Let's make that happen.
Always appreciate the time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
I'm going to go do heavy legs just for you guys, Columbus.
There he goes. Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. One NFL quarterback is sensationally bad. We'll do that in quick hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey, Darren, good morning. Right now, we're watching one crash on the ramp from Newberry Street over to I-70 eastbound. We've got some lane closures in place as crews work to clear up a crash over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Is it time for a new or used car? Visit Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161, home of the Tansky Promise, where our salespeople aren't paid on commission. We have a 72-hour exchange policy, and every transaction is upfront and transparent. You can even start the process at home. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to start your purchase today and to see all of this month's specials. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
My name is Marsha Blanks, and I live here in Cleveland, Ohio. Like a lot of African Americans, diabetes runs in our family. I have diabetes, and my husband has diabetes. His was worse than mine, and we made the decision that he would go on the insulin and I would not. It was too expensive. The drug companies are making a fortune. Nothing changed with the formulas, so why was it becoming so expensive? When I heard that Sherrod Brown had capped insulin at $35, it meant that I could now take insulin and control my diabetes even better. It was a godsend. I'm feeling better. I'm losing weight. Sherrod, he stood up to the drug companies, and he actually won. And that showed me that he cared about us. I am 66 years old, and I do not plan on slowing down. And that's thanks to Sherrod, because I got the medicine I needed.
I'm Sherrod Brown running for Senate. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Sherrod Brown.
The Buckeye Show.
Jim Lachey back in the day just pointing.
We going right here, and it's not a dang thing you can do about it.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream. But it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online. So your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football.
But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up. The food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, going sunny with a high of 86. Clear tonight, lows in the 50s. Sunny again tomorrow with a high of 90. Partly cloudy on Thursday with a high of 90. And then cloudy on Friday with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
We're here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky?
Yes, sir.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Oh, it is such a happy Tuesday. You know, 2 years ago, the big question in the Meadowlands was, will the New York Giants re-sign Daniel Jones, the quarterback, or running back Saquon Barkley? In true Giants fashion, they signed the wrong one.
I don't know. I think Jones is about to turn a corner.
Since getting a 4-year, $160 million contract during the 2023 offseason, Jones
change now.
He has one win as a starting quarterback. He has thrown only 2 touchdowns for the Giants. He's thrown 3 for the opponents. 3 interceptions that were returned for touchdowns. Over the past 2 years, really the past year and 1 game, the Giants are 5-6 with Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor as starters. Bobby, they are 1-6 in games started by Danny Dimes.
What would you like me to say to that? That they made a mistake? I mean, I think that's about as obvious. I don't care if they didn't sign either one of them.
You had Joe Shane admit that.
But you shouldn't be signing Danny Dimes. Like, I don't know if you needed to re-sign Saquon based upon where you were at as a franchise, but you definitely shouldn't have. They gave this guy all that money.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And if anybody watched Hard Knocks in the last, did you catch up on it, Bob? Did you finish the last episode?
I have not watched the last one yet.
All right, so on Hard Knocks, and we know that the Hard Knocks had the Giants version of the offseason of Hard Knocks, and really, I mean, I didn't really mention anything in that. The Saquon stuff obviously became a storyline for the NFL offseason where Joe Shane was like admitting to all this things going on here, the general manager of the Giants. But I did find it to be fascinating that, so they were chronicling the Bears this offseason during training camp. And so there was a video of Ryan Poles, the Bears GM, down at the Clemson-Georgia game. And so Joe Shane, again, once appears on Hard Knocks because he is there at the Georgia-Clemson game as well. And he looks at Ryan Poles, Joe Shane does, and says, yeah, it must be nice for you guys to not have to worry about a quarterback. And Ryan Poles like, hopefully we don't have to worry about that for a long time. I'm like, you did it again. Like, you, in front of Hard Knocks cameras, you admitted something that you probably shouldn't do in public, but now we can all see it. He is really bad. They're regretting that. I don't know which week, barring an injury, that he will not become the starting quarterback. It seems like he's on a pretty fast track to being benched.
I don't know how they keep him as quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna fall apart.
Bad news for the Rams. Bad news for some fantasy football owners. Puka Nacua is going on injured reserve with a PCL sprain, and that means he will be out at least 4 games. Beamer, last season, as a rookie, Puka had 105 catches, 1,486 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
It was pretty good last year, and he was pretty good in the game up until he got hurt. Now, this stinks for the Rams, right, Bob? And watching the 49ers last night, they're better than the Rams are, but again, I think the Rams are going to be super competitive in that division. Tough loss on the road, lots of hype going into that game against the Lions out in Detroit, return of Matt Stafford. You lose that game to a good football team on the road. There's no shame in that. But now also what is tough is that Puka Nacua is going to be on the shelf for at least 4 weeks on IR, and that's going to be something that's going to be tough to deal with. And I know that they lost Cooper Kupp for a long time last year, and Puka shined. Well, this year Cooper Kupp is healthy, so it's kind of flip-flopped in reverse. Puka's going to be on the shelf. As long as Cooper Kupp's out there, though, I'd feel all right with that Rams offense.
Yeah, but you need to get him out there, and you need to have them both. That's the reality of it, Beam. I mean, they've made a lot of moves. This is a team in transition, especially on the defensive side. I mean, Aaron Donald isn't over there anymore, and they've got a good squad, but you need both of those guys out there. Hopefully Puka, during this time, will be able to be consoled by his sister, Lene. If they can find her.
Looks like the Packers caught a break with Jordan Love. His knee injury not as bad as first suspected. In fact, Love won't even go on IR, which means he could be back in a couple of weeks. The bad news for Green Bay, Bobby, Malik Willis is now the starter, and he just signed with them 2.5 weeks ago.
That's great news. I mean, he's going to look awesome for him, right? They excited about this? This is the problem in the NFL. When you start paying guys $50 million plus to be your quarterback, you don't have good second options. The backups may not be up to snuff. We'll see how he goes. Jordan Love was playing really well, played great last year. Hopefully this doesn't derail everything, Beam. I know that you would love to see the Packers go down in flames, but I would like to see Jordan Love respond and be able to have somewhat of a semblance of a normal season.
Home against the Colts this week, which he's going to miss, and then it could be a Malik Willis revenge game against the Titans because they are in Nashville on the 22nd to take on Tennessee. So who knows what's going to go on with that, but it was good news for the Packers that Jordan Love is not going to be on the shelf for an extended period of time. So the IR designation meaning that you miss at least 4 weeks, them not designating him to the IR, he's going to miss at least 1 week. I don't know exactly what the timeline is going to be, but yeah, good news for Packers fans that it was not anything more serious than just the MCL sprain. We'll give you our biggest Week 2 takeaways from college football coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Still watching one crash here in the metro on the ramp from Newberry Street over to I-70 eastbound. We've got some lane closures in place as crews work to clear that up. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Football fans, meet your new full-service auto partner, Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. From Honda to Ford to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, we have the perfect vehicle for every football fan. Stuck on the road? Our 24/7 towing and roadside assistance is just one call away. And our Carvenience service means no hassle, just great service. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. For unbeatable deals and unbelievable service, visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew. Federally insured by NCUA.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Football season is here, and you know what that means. Fall is just around the corner. Cooler temperatures on the way. If you've been dealing with drafty windows all summer, struggling on those crazy hot days, your AC just can't keep up, now is the perfect time to upgrade with Universal Windows Direct. Call them today, 614-502-5220. For every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply because they always do. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only in this U.S. promotional offer. Not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch the most live NFL games all in one place, which means you can watch the Rams and the Colts and the Vikings and the Bengals and the Buccaneers and the Chargers or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Hey, it's Chaps. Mike, who lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180, he was in the same position I was in. Most likely you are in. Confused.
I spent so much money on personal trainers in the last 10 years. Didn't have a lot of discretionary income left. So I tried to listen to everybody else. What do you eat? Everyone said, eat healthy. Define eating healthy. Cut out sugar. Tell me what foods don't have sugar. So their process to me was an education. That was really the eye-opening thing to me is I had 10 choices of food in front of me every day. When I was on the run in sales, I was making 8 bad choices. I wasn't eating the 2 good ones. And I loved the 2 good ones. I just didn't know they were good. So I made bad choices every single day. In the program, an Awaken 180, really changed my mind, opened my eyes up to, it was a true education on food, what to eat, what not to eat, and it's been fantastic.
Knowing what to eat, the ability to navigate nutrition labels, a proven clear path for weight loss, exactly what you will receive with Awaken 180. Leave confusion at the door and do what we did. Awaken180weightloss.com. That's Awaken180weightloss.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. In Monday Night Football, Christian McCaffrey didn't play for the 49ers due to an injury, but Jordan Mason replaced him and ran for 147 yards and a touchdown as San Francisco beat the New York Jets 32-19. In baseball, the Reds had to fly into Atlanta for one game, a makeup of a July rainout, and the quick trip went well, especially for Nick Martinez. He allowed no runs on just 2 hits over 7 innings as the Reds blanked the Braves 1-0. The only run of the game came on a Ty France RBI double in the second. It was a good night for the Guardians on 3 fronts. They beat the White Sox 5-3, while the Royals fell to the Yankees 10-4, and the Twins lost to the Angels 6-2. So first place Cleveland now owns a 3.5 game lead over second place Kansas City, with Minnesota 6 back. The Sports Center is sponsored by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. If you missed Legs in the 6 o'clock hour, fear not. He's going to be back here at 8:05. Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program coming up here at 7:35. And then Uncle Beau. His name is Beau Bishop. He hosts Bishop and Friends. He's going to join the program coming up here at 8:35. We'll talk some brownies with him. So power-packed final 2 hours of the program for you here on a Tuesday.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Sharky, good night for the Gardos on the south side. 5-3 winners, 7:40 tonight. Back over there.
Joey Cantillo faced 20 batters, the first 20 batters of the game, and retired them all. He had a perfect game going with 2 outs in the 7th. After the game,
they told him,
Stephen Vogt said, I was kind of glad to see that base hit break up the perfect game because I don't know what I was going to do.
You got a perfect game going. You can't pull the guy.
Beam, you got to trust the numbers.
You can't pull a guy with a perfect. They pull people with perfect games going?
Yeah, sure, Beam.
That's dumb.
Trust the numbers, Beam. The science, the math, the
Trust
analytics.
the analytics. Get that guy a couple of greenies and let him go.
He's 23 years old. His arm will fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw 110 pitches.
Reds beat the Braves 1-0. That's a score I didn't have in my prediction set last night. So that was a little one-off for them. They're back at it tonight in St. Louis at 7:45.
Because they got the pot of leaded, Beam. They got the greenies.
Yeah, they did. I was told you guys. So I don't know where this.
Beam was today years old, Shark, when he found out what greenies were.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know what they were.
They were as common as chewing gum.
Yeah,
you just reach in and grab a handful.
So they're amphetamines.
They were legal.
Yeah, they're amphetamines.
They were legal amphetamines. Most are not over the counter. Well, back then.
Right. And I was reading this article from the Chicago Tribune, and they were talking to an ex-baseball player, former Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher Jason Grimley, because I was like, I don't know what it is. Let me click on the first article about it, And it said,
the dark web.
He said Grimsley, who played for 7 different teams, including the Yankees and Orioles, also reportedly told investigators of 2 pots of coffee in many big league clubhouses. One would be marked leaded for its amphetamine content, and the other one would be marked unleaded because it was just coffee. He said, I don't know what a steroid is, but I've seen Greenies. Devil Rays, so this was back when they were the Devil Rays, obviously. Special Assistant Don Zimmer, rest in peace now. He said, I've been called
0-1 versus Pedro.
I've seen what they've called, quote, red juice.
Ooh,
I
red
thought it was
juice.
cough syrup. I swear I did. That was 50 years ago. Over time, former and current players have become more brazen in discussing the sport's reliance on amphetamines to get through the endless grind of a 162-game season. Said people badmouth stuff like that, but they don't have to be involved in this marathon of a season, Cubs infielder Todd Walker said. But, man, there's some great names in here. But, man, you're playing every single day for 6 months. It's difficult. At times, you got to look for things that help you out. Without it, it will be interesting.
Can we talk about the fact that a lot of these guys go out and get hammered after games?
Said it was more prevalent in the 50s, 60s, and 70s because greenies were on the training tables like aspirin. Even in the 80s and 90s, amphetamines were much more prevalent than steroids. Said usually where the greenies would come in handy after a good night out.
Yeah, that's what I just said. These guys would all go out. All the baseball guys I know, I'm like, I guess you can just go out and get drunk before games.
We had McDonald's and a greenie, and they were good. We were good for 9 innings. That sounds great. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They went on here to say that somewhere I was reading in this article that guys, they had all this different lingo for it, Bob, like being in the bag or like all these different things. And they said the way that
Shark always said being in the bag meant something else.
The way that they combated it was by drinking milk. Because apparently that was a myth that would like bust up the amphetamines in your system.
Oh, come on.
And someone said here, it's like, 98-degree day. He said, I saw more than a few times Cubs broadcaster Bob Brenly, the former Diamondbacks manager, Giants catcher. The old remedy used to be milk on a 98-degree day. If you're overloaded before a batting practice, then drink the milk. That's not a pretty sight what comes out.
That is disgusting.
Pills led to a whole new lingo among baseball insiders using greenies in the jar. Using a high quantity of them was going deep in the jar, and playing without the use of them was known as playing naked. All this is new to me.
How did you not know about any of this?
I didn't know it.
What do you mean you didn't know?
I didn't know. I didn't know that they were called greenies. I knew that amphetamine. I knew that was like the usage was obviously prevalent, but I didn't know that was the term. That was something new to me today.
Oh, Bean, my extensive research on the whole steroid stuff and everything going on.
Yeah.
And all the guys, because all the guys I know who play baseball, they'd go out and drink after every game and party. I'm like, dude, how can you do that when you got to play the next day?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm like, well, that's how you do it.
This is why.
You'll get some amphetamines, a little pick-me-up, you know? I mean, is it any worse than Schlegel drinking a pot of coffee and 2 Monsters with some workout?
By the way, when we talk to Schlegel again, you'll hear him at 8:05, or you can go back and listen to the podcast. Or if you were joining us live, I asked about Cade McDonald. He went on a 3-minute answer and didn't answer a single part of that about Cade McDonald, other than him signing an NIL deal with McDonald's.
Because you should have called him K-Mac, because that's the only way he knows him. I
did call him. I'm like, what about your boy K-Mac? Caleb Downs, guys. What are you talking about?
He was on one. He's on one today. He's ready to rock.
Yeah, he is.
That's how he is. He's always operating like that. I mean, if Schlegel can't feel his heart beating in his like neck and forehead, then I don't think his blood pressure's high enough.
Like
his
Matthew
heart rate.
McConaughey on that limitless pill. Monday Night Football last night, 49ers take down the Jets 32-19. You did get a kickoff time for Marshall, so we know Ohio State has a bye week this week. Kind of weird with it being week 3 of the season, but they do get the off week. They're calling it, what did I say?
Improvement
week. Yeah, that's the term that they've been using. So you are going to get a noon game against Marshall coming up here next Saturday, which I think everybody can celebrate in.
Absolutely. That sounds tremendous.
It does. So that's the 21st. You got that going for you. What stood out to you across college football this week?
Well, Notre Dame lost.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing because I love Marcus. You know, I forget the guy's like, wait, he was your teammate of yours? I'm like, yeah, he played at Ohio State, dude. He's 2 years younger than me, James's age. But this is tough because it's a little bit of a trend. I don't think last year they didn't have a bad loss like this.
I don't think they did.
But 2 years ago, they lost to Marshall at home, and then they lost to a bad Stanford team. I mean, you just came off a huge win.
They lost to Clemson last year at Louisville and then home against Ohio State.
And Clemson was reeling.
And and those were both road games, the Louisville game and Clemson.
And the Louisville game was a rough loss because that was tough. But losing them at home is even worse. And this is the second big home loss that they've had here in 3 years. to a team that you're significantly better than. Now, granted, they're coming off big games. One was a win, one was a loss. 2022 was a loss here. 2024, you won at A&M. And so you've got to find a way to keep your team consistent. And so that's what's tough. And I know Marcus is probably struggling with that. Like, hey, how do we do this? Keep the guys up, get them ready to go. Like, you're better than Northern Illinois. It's the same thing happened with Bowling Green at Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean, Penn State.
You could have easily been talking about Penn State losing.
Big win at West Virginia. I'm sitting there saying, hey, top tier of the Big Ten. Yep. Drew Aller can push the ball down the field. Look at these wideouts. We knew they could run the ball. We knew they had a good defense. Heck, watch them throw the ball deep down the field. Well, I thought they had a good defense until I watched Bazelak, who I believe is an ultra guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds right. Bazelak?
Yeah. I'm almost positive Bazelak's from Alter. He went to Indiana, and
yeah, he nailed it. Good
boom.
job.
Yeah, where are you at? 937. Taking your card right now.
That was a private school, Bob. I'm
private school. It's adjacent.
Guy.
It's adjacent to where you live. Don't give me that nonsense.
Right down the street.
I mean, my goodness, it's right off of Ackerman Road, right there.
not Ackerman.
What's it? Yeah, it is.
Ackerman is here.
There's an Ackerman. Look it up.
Oh my God! You know Dayton geography better than me. I don't.
You go down Dorothy. You go down Dorothy, and you take a left. You take a left on Ackerman.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna. When I school you with this.
See, the problem is I don't know the road. I don't know the road names, Bob. I wouldn't know how to get there. I can tell you exactly where it's at.
Look it up.
All right.
Look it up. What does it say?
David Road and Ackerman. Look at you go.
Boom. Yep.
Sandwich right between David, Ackerman, and Marshall.
That's right. Okay, so I'll take my flowers on that one, Beam. But I'm like, who is this? Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, he played in Indiana and Missouri. He's pretty good. He was carving them up like the Thanksgiving turkey, man. It was ridiculous. It wasn't like big plays or a turnover, a scoop and score, some randomness.
No.
It was like, hey, they're driving the ball and cutting you up. It's 3rd and 4. They're running double slants and getting 9 yards. And they drove down there, and the only thing that changed was the fact that Penn State was able to get some big plays later. And I think that ultimately helped. And then basically ended up throwing a pick at the very end because I think it was 4th or 3rd down.
Forcing the issue.
Kind of threw it up, but whatever. But I'm like, this is Bowling Green. I think Bowling Green is a good MAC team, but Penn State.
They're a MAC
dude,
team on the road in Happy Valley.
Yes. Like, and by the way, you're supposed to have this new look offense. You just couldn't. They couldn't line it up and run it against them until the second half, which was concerning. And just like we talked, like Akron. Oh gosh, slow start. Hey buddy, you won 56-6. Okay, and so everybody had some guy in my comments after our YouTube show yesterday. Like, no one's impressed with Ohio State's wins. I'm like, you know what they're not impressed with?
Their
losses to other schools. Or when you're barely winning. I don't think anybody's saying that Ohio State's the best team in the country because they beat Akron and Western Michigan. I think they're saying that because they're immensely talented and they've seen glimpses in those games that lead you to believe you can extrapolate and they're better than that.
And you don't need to be a finished product here in week 2 or week 3.
But like you saw, hey, this is a little example. They've got some dynamic players. This defense is playing well. Look at them running the ball. Like they're improving, doing some things that are a little better. Also, I think Tennessee.
Good. They're good.
Nico
Imaleva.
No, you just incepted my mind. Iamaliava. I think that's it. Iamaliova. It's one of those. I've been working on that.
Say it with confidence.
But he looks really good. And Tennessee, I think, could be a fringe. They could be that 4 team maybe getting in the SEC. Yeah. They looked really good. And then I think lastly, we talked a little bit about Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with some people yesterday, some Michigan guys, they're trying to do what they did last year, but Warren Davis is not near J.J. McCarthy, although he's not the problem. But they don't have as much talent up front, and they're not as creative with their motions and shifts and how they're getting the stuff on offense.
They just don't have as many talented guys as last year.
And that's part of it. You just can't move the ball. But it should have been closer against Texas if they would have even been able to do some of those other things.
Here's a big takeaway for me is that in a game where you have 648 total yards, you should win. And the other team having 385. This was a double overtime game. Oklahoma State beating Arkansas.
Dude,
Arkansas had 648 yards.
It's some bad turnovers.
And they lost the football game.
Missed some field goals. And I was so much waiting for Sam Pittman to to talk about drinking cold beer and go Hogs at the end, and then maybe putting Bobby Petrino back on the podium. That's my dad and I were waiting and watching.
Did he wear the neck brace?
And I told my dad, "You're gonna want to see Sam Pittman when they win this game. He's gonna be fantastic." And we never got to see it. I love Mike Gundy, and he's like my second favorite. But Sam Pittman, go Hogs! Like I was waiting for that so much, and it just didn't happen.
No, it did not. Sharky, this is surely to make your day. The Browns signed some very exciting player to their practice
Jan
squad.
usually makes his day, not Shirley.
That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still watching crews at the intersection of Newberry Street and the ramp to I-70 eastbound, slightly blocking that area as they work to clear up a crash from earlier this morning. Also on the southeast side, watching crews clear up a crash at the intersection of Bryce Road and Shannon Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stutterwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
In his ads, Sherrod Brown talks about common sense. It's just common sense. But Brown's record shows a complete lack of common sense. Sherrod Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Common sense. And Brown introduced a bill to allow transgender biological men in girls' locker rooms. Common sense. Brown supported allowing minor children to receive sex change surgeries. And Brown backed Bidenomics, reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar on gas, groceries, electricity, and housing, making life harder for Ohio families and seniors. It's just common sense. Actually, it's nonsense. Brown's extreme liberal policies make absolutely no sense outside of Washington, D.C. But that's the real Sherrod Brown. He's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Heaven on earth. It's here in the mountain towns of West Virginia, draped in vibrant reds, yellows, and oranges. Some of America's most spectacular fall colors. The perfect backdrop to autumn adventure. From scenic train rides to fall festivals, and a cozy cabin waiting at the end of the day. Fall is almost heaven in West Virginia. Plan your getaway at wvtourism.com.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Beau Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Beau. The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Ohio's
public schools are safe, welcoming places where every student of every race, background, gender, and ability can learn from exceptional educators who are dedicated to their success. As we get into the swing of this new school year, Ohio Education Association members across the state are once again using our united voices to call for the supports and resources our public schools need. Please stand with us as strong partners so every child can get the great public education they deserve. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot of sunshine out there today. Temperatures remain above average with a high of 86. Sunny tomorrow, high of 90. Sunny on Thursday with highs in the 90s. And then clouds return on Friday with highs back down to the 80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A radio show hosted by two former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's Long here, a little Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Before we go any further in the program, you know what time it is.
Oh, you hear that? That means it's the Rooster. It's a Tuesday. It's an appetizer Tuesday, which means it's a Threes Day. And since it is September 10th, it is mac and cheese bites. They're the featured appetizer. They're $3 all day long. Macaroni and cheese covered in crispy, crunchy cheddar coating, deep fried and served with sour cream. So good, you'll wish you were a kid again. They're Schleg's favorite, and they're $3 all day long. And if you go to roosterswings.com, you can get the Buckeye. You're registered for the Buckeye giveaway. They've got QR codes as well on the napkins at the store. They've got unbelievable gifts and prizes. Go check them out. They got another drawing at the end of this month, and then one more, I believe, before the end of the season.
Yeah, you're right about that. So coming up 1 hour away from now, we're going to be giving away a $50 gift card to Roosters. When we play That's What He Said. When did your kids have like a full arsenal of like words? Because we're trying at home, like Billy's trying to string together a few.
Yeah, he's that age. Start piecing together some. I honestly couldn't tell you. The more kids I have, it all jumbles up. Like, I mean, I'm working on teaching Caleb to read. And I remember RJ being a much better reader at this point. I don't know if that's just me getting less patient as I get older. I'm not sure. But like a full arsenal of words and being able to converse, I would say probably like between 2 and 3 is when you can really start like putting together like legitimate fragments of thoughts and sentences.
Yeah, Willie knows exactly what no means, and he uses it quite frequently when you're dealing with him. Yeah. But when you tell him no, he just blows off the stop
that's
sign.
A loss. It's a loss in translation.
Yeah.
On the other side. You know,
he's really good at waving his finger. No.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
The other day he said poop. And then we looked in his diaper and he had poop in it. I'm like, okay, that's a big step for us.
Or acknowledge. Hey, first step is acknowledging the problem. Second step is dealing with it.
Yeah, okay. You need a diaper change? No.
You just want to sit in your poop.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
Yes.
You go sit in your poop over there.
Slide is a big one because we got like a little Tykes like slide. Yeah. He took a sweet nosedive off of it the other day.
Head first?
Head first.
That's good.
I was right there.
Get a pillow at the bottom of that beam.
Yeah, I mean it's outside. We've got grass. Which, but I was standing right there, and what also is terrifying is that he was getting up, so he had shoes on, so like the shoes would get like stuck. So then he was all over the place, and then he just got a little too tight, got a little too top heavy, and he just rolled down the slide. Like I was there, I was holding him.
That's okay. Kids are soft.
I'm looking at him and I'm telling Mare this. I'm like, I need you to take a fall without like really hurting yourself, but to like just to back you down a little bit. I'm like, you've got no fear at all.
That's the beauty of it, Beam. Like that's the beauty of youth. Until you've actually been stung, you don't know what it feels like.
Yeah, he gets run over by his dog like once every couple of days, and he bounces up and he thinks it's funny.
There you go.
Like, okay.
Yeah, Theo comes and jumps on him.
We try not to overreact like any time that he like falls down, just to be like, okay, you're probably all right.
It's more in the reaction than anything.
Totally.
If you panic, they panic. They only know what you know. And so that'll be all right, Beam.
I'll tell you what it is. It is funny, though. Like when he does fall, he gets just totally immobilized. Like he sits there basically just paralyzed for like 4 or 5 seconds and will like look up at me, make sure that he's all right. I'm like, okay, You good?
Yeah.
And then he kind of looks around and like dusts himself off the
Yeah, we're
canvas.
good. Don't worry about it. Dust yourself off, big fella.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few words too. Like he loves belly buttons now.
Yeah.
Just absolutely loves them. And he just can't say belly button. He can say he says button.
Yeah, I mean
he says belly, and what he goes to say belly button, he goes pot. I'm like, that's not it at all. So you're not even close.
Yeah, we're getting to multisyllabic words, Beam. I mean, outside of 2, 3, like you're stretching a lot there. I get it. You know, just so my older kids, they're all beat up from sports. Like my son Cullen's in a boot. He had some sort of like pre-stress fracture deal on his ankle. Wanted to give him some time with that. My daughter's she's got some sort of biceps tendonitis. Her wrist is bothering her. I mean, it's all kinds. By the way, none of my kids ever want to take care of the injuries. They just want them like to get better. Like my dad would always tell me that the treatment's worse than the injury. I don't want to put my foot in the cold bucket. Well, you thought about that before you rolled your ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in the bucket. You know, my wife's like, do we really have to? Is it just ice pack? No, put it down in the bucket. I'm sick of the softness from them. Get the foot down in there. I even have these little neoprene booties so it keeps your toes from like freezing off.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to ice. They don't want to use stem. I've got all these different modalities. You strap on there, the stem unit, all this stuff that they can do. I bought this over the years for me, and now you guys can use it. It's all good. But because of that now, subsequently my youngest son, Caleb, who's in 2nd grade, it's like, Dad, my knee kind of hurts so I ride my bike.
Oh, no.
You know, I'm like, where's it hurt? And he's like pointing. It's like halfway on his shin. I'm like, yeah, buddy.
Have we incepted injuries into your mind?
Oh, I just think he wants to be like part of the crew.
Yeah.
The injury club. I'm like, do you want me to yell at you about why don't you have ice on? Why aren't you taking care of yourself? You've been running around doing all this. You're not playing. Like
brothers and sisters doing it looks cool.
Exactly. And so he's now like, hey, Dad, I fell and I jammed my wrist. Like, looked pretty good when you were throwing the ball at practice.
No, it hurts now.
Yeah. Put some ice on it, bud. You want to do that? Put some ice on it. You'll be all right.
Sharky, I saw this yesterday from the Browns. Other than the Deshaun Watson situation that came out yesterday.
Please tell us about that.
You can go read that full report on any of those websites, and I
want you to read it to me.
It is bad, and apparently there's an out in the Browns for his contract with situations like this. So I don't know what's going to come of that. But
is it worse than the previous stuff, though?
Yeah, it's about the same.
Okay, well, I mean it's a rerun.
It's about the same stuff. So you can go read that in as much detail as you would like on any publication here, if you would like to. Yesterday or
it's
this
like Fast
morning.
and the Furious, Beam. I mean, it's a different plot line, but same story.
Yeah, exactly. So they're working through that, and then I also saw this. The Browns signed Kadarius Toney to their practice squad. Shark, how are we feeling about that? First round pick in 2021.
Yeah, former first round pick by the Giants. Another great move by the Giants, and a star of the Super Bowl.
He was the Super Bowl star. I mean, I know that you can't really get the ball to your weapons, but adding another weapon on that roster sure seems to be good.
Well, that was kind of a backhanded compliment.
That wasn't a backhanded compliment. That was a fact. What else do you want me to say about that?
He's only on the practice squad for now, Beam, so we don't know. I'm assuming that they signed him to, at some point, activate him.
Well, they signed him. They're going to have him fill in for Njoku.
Oh, he's going to play tight end.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I kind of wish they'd have just re-signed David Bell, but guess that ship has already floated away. Well, you got a problem with Kadarius?
I don't have a problem with him. I just know that
him and Andy Reid are buddies.
I just know that you would be. Yeah, they're good friends. I just know that you would be super excited about that. I thought I should.
I was gonna use that for what has you juice, but you let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, sorry about that. Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program about what Ohio State needs to accomplish during their bye week, called Improvement Week. He's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. No crashes on your interstates right now, but watching crews clear up a crash at the intersection of Bryce Road and Shannon Road over on the southeast side. Watch for crews blocking that intersection here on your Tuesday. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
How do people feel about getting Big Fitness Energy and Planet Fitness for $15 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster. That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $15 a month.
Hurry. Deal ends September 12th. Join today for $15 a month.
See Home Club for details.
It's Logan Services 55th anniversary sale. Replace your air conditioner and save up to 55% on a qualifying Trane furnace. Take action with a free estimate. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew, federally insured by NCUA.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No. Because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for the Bath Authority. It's time to make your bath and shower something you really love. Something so great, your singing in the shower comes from a genuine place of happiness. Don't keep staring at that outdated bath, the mold, the mildew, the broken tiles. Every unit from the Bath Authority is custom built. You choose the premium accents and accessories. Right now, get free installation on your new bath or shower, plus 36 months of 0% interest. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here at 1:33 p.m. How many hours is that away from right now? 5, 6? 6 hours away from right now. You can get a chance to listen to Tyvis Powell.
Tyvis?
With Rothman and Ice. That's right. He's going to join the program coming up here at 1:33. As of now, we check in on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline with our friend Bucknuts. He is Steve Hellwagen. Steve, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. You were at the Horseshoe on Saturday night watching the domination for the Buckeyes over the Broncos of Western Michigan. What was more impressive to you, the offensive outburst or the defensive stiflingness?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think for the offense to have sputtered a little bit in the first half against Akron the previous week, I think it was good for them to come out and score touchdowns the first 3 times they had the ball. I believe it was 35-0 at halftime, and to me that was very good to see that the offense had gotten some things straightened out. Again, I think we have to take all of these results, all of these statistics and everything with a grain of salt, because Akron 2 wins last year, Western 4 wins last year. You know, maybe they each have a little bit of improvement this coming season, but they're not going to be a whole heck of a lot better than they were last year. So you're talking about the lower rungs of the MAC, and you know, they're going to play 10 tougher teams than the first 2 that they've already played. And you know, I think Marshall coming in here, I watched a little bit of the Virginia Tech game that they played this last week, and they played them pretty tough for about a half. So they've got some athletes on that team. So it could be it's going to be a much tougher game going forward. And then obviously the Big Ten is stacking up as well.
They are. However, again, I try to balance this and trying to figure out, you know, what exactly they should look like. And I mean, I think that they've done, Steve, played as well as you could have asked them to play, especially last week, especially when you look around college football and you see what happened at Notre Dame, and then you also watch what happened in Happy Valley, which was almost an upset.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Michigan as well, you know, to the way that those 3 games kind of went. And I'll throw in the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals too, because it is such a long season. We know this. I mean, the NFL teams are playing 17 games. The college teams are playing 12 regular season games. And I guarantee you one of those 5 teams we're talking about, either college or pro, is going to be there at the end. They're going to be contending for something. I don't know which one, but it's such a long season, and they'll get it straightened out. You know, one or 2 of those teams will, and we'll have a quality season. So, yeah, I guess it's better to learn. This was something a coach once said. I think it was Thad Matta. I would rather learn the lessons in a win than learn those lessons in a loss. Or as with Penn State, they were a 5-touchdown favorite and were trailing 24-20 at halftime. I mean, Bowling Green went in there and was hitting on all cylinders. So, you know, that was a rough one. But, yeah, I think no reason for all those teams to not put in a full week of work this week.
Yeah, in the words of Thad Matta, at that juncture of the game, it didn't look very good for them. But they did, at the very end, pull it out. As we check in with Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Let's focus on the Silver Bullet defense, Steve. I thought the interior defensive line, every unit played great. I mean, Ohio State emptied the bench. I think they had 80 players who played on the game, offensive and defensive side of the football. But the depth that you have here in Columbus at the interior defensive line spot, I mean, it was crazy to see those guys doing whatever they wanted to. And there was never a dent that Western Michigan got on that D-line. Didn't matter what quarter or what time of the game it was.
Yeah, I agree. To not allow a first down in the second half is just something amazing. On my Twitter timeline, it's interesting. Somebody posted, I wish that he'd pulled the starters earlier, and, you know, Ryan Day can't win. You know, it's like, you know, no margin is too big to pull the starters. And, you know, it's a push-pull because Will Howard over on offense needs all the game reps he can get with Brandon Ennis and Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. Butte could have built that timing. Back on defense, as you said, Tyleik Williams and Ty Hamilton, very fitting that those 2 combined on a sack, that Jack Sawyer got his first sack of the season. That was good. He said Larry Johnson told him getting that first one is the hardest one to get, And then after that, they'll come, one after another. And I think that's what Ohio State fans are expecting out of Jack Sawyer. And then for Cody Simon to not have played the first week, they sent him on a blitz on third down in the first series, and he announced his return very quickly with a great sack to start the game and really set the tone. 3 and out, get the football back, and go score. So, that's what complimentary football is all about. Play great defense, give your offense possession in good field position, and, then drive it down and score. And Ohio State was like lather, rinse, repeat on Saturday. Repetitive in a good way, I think.
It was repetitive. It was, I guess, I wouldn't use the term boring, but it was consistent. What people wanted to see in the first game is maybe some pulling guys and getting some of the younger quarterbacks in there. They thought they rotated pretty well, especially on defense, and did so again in the second game. But this game, we also got to see not only Devin Brown, but Julian Say and Lakin Keenholz, 2 of those 3 throwing passes. Kind of what were your thoughts and takeaways of some of those young guys getting reps?
Well, it was good for Brown to go 5 of 5. His consistency throwing the football has never been his strong suit. I mean, he had some incompletions here and there in different times, and that was good that he had a perfect game throwing the ball. He did take a sack that, people have kind of questioned a little bit about his pocket presence. But, when you match him up against Howard, it's obvious why Howard is playing, because Howard feels that rush. And that's just one part of being a quarterback, is that pocket presence. And Brown probably would do better, as we said again, if he got to play more. And so it is that push-pull that you're fighting. For Saying to get in there, get his feet wet, have a positive experience, and complete that pass to Bennett Christian, who then turned and took it upfield for the touchdown. That was a great experience for him. I'm sure it had to be a great thrill for his second career pass to be a touchdown like that. And first of many. I think Ryan Day is really smitten with his Julian Saying. So I think, I don't want to anoint him as the quarterback of the future, but I think he's going to be a hard one to beat out going forward.
Hey, Steve, before we get you out of here, we know it is an off week, bye week, improvement week, whatever you want to call it here for Ohio State. What do they need to accomplish here this week before getting back against Marshall next weekend?
Yeah, as a player, Bobby's going to hate for me to say this, but you got to drill those fundamentals, man. You got to continue, and that's what makes great football teams, is you're fundamentally sound. And then, of course, perfect the schemes on both sides, the plays, and really drill down the bread and butter plays on both sides that you're going to really use to beat Big Ten teams. And I think, again, we've seen a lot of times in these off weeks that they will make them fundamental practices, and then showtime is the word I think Tressel used to use for the young guys. Have scrimmages, a couple, 2-3 days with Julian Saying and Aaron Noland, and let those guys go out there and run 30 plays or 20 plays, whatever it might be, and really get that experience playing. So you got a lot of masters you got to feed here at The Ohio State University. But, Dave even mentioned statistical benchmarks that the committee looks at to separate teams with like records. So if Texas and Ohio State both end up 13-0, the one who's better statistically is going to get the higher seed. And I just throw those two out there as an example. So, it could be Georgia, it could be anybody, but you get what I'm saying. You want to win, you want to look good doing it, put up good stats, and again, a lot of mouths to feed over there at the Ohio State College. So
absolutely, there is.
Doing the best they can.
For sure. Steve, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great off week, buddy, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
All right, guys, take care.
There you go. Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Pool season now, it's come and gone, Beam, but it doesn't mean you can't look your best with my folks over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone hormone replacement therapy. They're not just here to optimize your testosterone levels. No, they can do so much more. That's right. Listen, Affinity, they can help you lose weight and alleviate the symptoms that come with low testosterone aging. Affinity offers semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone treatments so you can say goodbye to low energy, low libido. Say hello to weight loss, muscle gain. That way, when pool season is here, or when you take a vacation this off season, or you're just feeling great going into the new year, Affinity can be there and help you. So check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com. Tell them I sent you.
We're going to get juiced on a Tuesday next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, just one crash we're watching on I-70 westbound. The left lane slightly blocked off on I-70 westbound just past Hague Avenue as crews clear up a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, you've reached Teresa and Benny. You know the drill.
Hey, Teresa, it's Armando from Chase. Congrats on closing. I'm sure Benny will love playing fetch in your new backyard.
Your Chase Home Lending Advisor will be there from pre-approval to closing. We're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/home. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the plum insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
How do people feel about getting big fitness energy at Planet Fitness for $15 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster. That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $15 a month.
Hurry. Deal ends September 12th. Join today for $15 a month.
See Home Club for details.
Football is built on tradition, and so is the Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With a lifetime powertrain warranty on every vehicle purchase, you know you're getting a relationship that's built to last. Need service? Our Carvenience service takes care of everything, from picking up your vehicle to dropping it off when it's done, leaving you with a rental car in between. And with 4 dealerships and a collision center, Hinderer Motor Company is your one-stop shop for all things automotive. Visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they head to swampy Jacksonville. Live coverage starts Sunday at 11 with a kick at 1. Your Central Ohio home for Browns football, The Fan.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, going sunny with a high of 86. Clear tonight, lows in the 50s. Sunny again tomorrow with a high of 90. Partly cloudy on Thursday with a high of 90. And then cloudy on Friday with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast. on 97.1 The Fan.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Ford.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Not only can you listen to the program anytime you want with a podcast, you can also watch the program anytime on the YouTube machine. Just type in 97.1 The Fan, hit the subscribe button. Everything will magically appear on your homepage. That's right. You are now able to watch the show. Also, hop in the YouTube chat and be a contributor here to the program.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Sharky, it's a Schleg day. We're going to get the chance to talk with Schlegs again here at around 8:05. What's got him fired up today?
That's how I church it up. I go from my...
Oh, gosh, that was yesterday.
Tony Llama boots.
See, I was going to make it through the whole doggone week without making a mistake.
Well, you made one today. I made one yesterday. We're not perfect.
Here we go.
You have Larry Combs, one at every level that there is.
Larry Combs or Kerry Combs?
No, you misheard me. Now you digress me again, Beam. That's what you do, man.
I mean, the audio is out there of him calling him Larry Combs.
He likes to point.
Which, by the way, Schleg's coached with him and knows his name is Kerry.
Right. I was eating lunch yesterday, and what did I have yesterday?
Not a joke.
I can't even remember, Beam. I'm old. Anyway, I walked into my wife's office, and she is just blubbering like a baby. I said, "What is wrong?" And she said, I'm watching the Gaudreau funeral. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I get that." So I didn't sit down and watch with her because I didn't want to cry like a baby in front of her. But I shed a few tears later when I watched it. Both widows gave eulogies, which was just heartbreaking. And Meredith Gaudreau revealed that she is 9 weeks pregnant with their third child. We already know that Madeline Gaudreau, Matthew's wife, is like 5 months pregnant. So it's just a story that is absolutely horrifying. But Meredith said some great things about the Blue Jackets fans and about Sean Monahan. And this clip here, when she was talking about how much they loved being part of the Columbus community.
To Columbus and our Blue Jackets family, I can't describe how shattered I am that I don't get more time in your amazing city with John. The most underrated city. I'm so glad we got to learn the hidden gem that is Columbus, Ohio together. We had our first baby the same week we moved to Columbus for John's first season as a Blue Jacket. We welcomed our daughter Noah, Daddy's twin. John instantly was the best dad in the world. So cautious, so gentle, so loving and nurturing. Absolutely in love with his little girl who never missed a single one of Daddy's games. Columbus, thank you for taking care of us when we were experiencing so many changes at once. You so quickly became home and became our family, and the memories we made in Columbus as a growing family are the best years of my life. Know that there were so many little signs as we got to know the city that truly made us feel reassured that we had made the right choice choosing Columbus.
That is Meredith Gaudreau. Bobby, I'm really I'm so sorry that I had to make you follow that up, but it was good to hear her words. And now let the healing begin, I guess.
It's a long road for him. Yeah, Shark, you could have gone last if you were going to do that. I thought you were going to play something from James Earl Jones and Field of Dreams, but I heard you cutting up earlier today. Not that. So obviously powerful words there by a grieving wife and mother as she tries to move on, and such kind words about our city and how she enjoyed it. And very powerful stuff. We had the passing of James Earl Jones. A couple other cuts that I could play, Shark, but I don't know if they'd be appropriate after that. James Earl Jones passed away at 93 years old, one of my favorites. He was very... What are we doing over there?
I'm sorry. I
Get it together.
Well, you're pausing, and I think...
Because I'm not done speaking yet.
Okay, all right.
James Earl Jones, one of my favorites in a million... From Field of Dreams to Darth Vader. I mean,
David Letterman.
He's on this is him on David Letterman. I mean, he did. He was so good at everything that he ultimately did, and I feel like he was never a child. I feel like he was born at 30 with this voice. And here's a clip from him from David Letterman.
Can I go now?
Go ahead.
Top 10 things that sound cool when spoken by James Earl Jones. Here we go. Number 10.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah. Number 9.
Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear.
Number 8.
J-Lo in the house.
Number 7.
Click here now for the hottest sex sites on the web.
Number 6.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture goes to Dude, Where's My Car?
Number 5.
You're not fully clean until you're zestfully clean.
Number 4.
You mean I get all these great funk classics on just one CD or cassette?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Well, now, wait a minute. The number 2 cool thing when spoken by James Earl Jones.
Meow, 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 meow.
And the number 1 thing that sounds cool when spoken by James Earl Jones.
Oh, goodness. Man, they got to live a full life and a fantastic one of that and brought joy to so many people. Rest in peace, James.
How old was he?
93.
93 years old. You're right. I feel like he was born at the age of 50 with that voice. Like, I just can't imagine him as a kid.
No.
First day you come into class when your voice changes, like, how are you handling that situation?
He couldn't have talked like that at 21, could he? I mean, is that a thing?
I think he did. What's got me juiced? Told you a couple of months ago, Meredith and I were out for a night out. It was great. We went to Agony before we went to dinner down like where we used to work with Bob at the
sounds terrible
at the in the brewery district. And I just saw this. I told you that the chef of the restaurant was not working in the kitchen because he owns the restaurant. They were short like a bar back, so he was just being a bar back that night. He's the owner. He's the probably general operator of the whole place, and they were short a staff member, so he came out of the kitchen and he was working behind the bar because that's where they needed help at. And it's awesome to see people get recognized for their hard work. And was perusing Bon Appetit, which is a big food and drink publication, and I did see that Agony was named one of the top 20 best new restaurants in America in 2024. Nice. So awesome to see the work that he's doing. He also owns Joya's up in Worthington, which is an awesome breakfast spot. So big congratulations to them and their wait staff, and basically everybody is terrific over there. So big congratulations to Chef Avishar and everybody involved over there. That's got me fired up here. Also fired up that Anthony Schlegel is next, and he's all kinds of juiced about the Buckeyes. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, just watching one crash cruiser working to clear up right now on I-70 westbound just past Hague Avenue. We've got the left lane slightly blocked off over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real lasting pain relief? That sounds amazing. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. And if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, I've had it before. I've had it in my knee. I went and saw the professionals, the experts at QC Kinetics. They're the leaders in regenerative medicine. Guess what? There's no surgery, there's no drugs, there's no downtime. And my dad did it as well. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands satisfied patients just like me. So I'm back to running again. My dad is back to walking again. They've got locations conveniently located in Dublin, Dublin, and Gahanna. So go check them out by going to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 Roof.
We all know breakfast is an important part of your day. But sometimes when you're traveling for business, you end up staying at a hotel that doesn't offer any. You know what happens? You grab a cup of coffee and skip the meal entirely. We've all been there. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. And really, who doesn't want to start their day with a fresh, hot waffle? Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
When your job demands more than just hard work, trust Timberland Pro, the brand that defines superior comfort, performance, and durability. Built on a legacy of craftsmanship, Timberland Pro provides boots and apparel that stand up to the toughest challenges. Our products are as resilient as the skilled men and women who wear them. From the workshop to the job site, Timberland Pro is there with you every step of the way, blending innovation with time-tested quality. Discover why professionals choose Timberland Pro. Always do, never done. Visit timberlandpro.com or your local Timberland Pro dealer.
Hey, it's Chaps. Most goals have a clear course, like planning a trip. But when it comes to losing 40 or 50 pounds, that's a different story. Except with Awaken 180, a clear course to fast, proven weight loss with free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. A year after suffering a torn Achilles in the first game of last season, Aaron Rodgers returned to the field last night. He threw for 167 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception as the Jets lost at San Francisco 32-19 in Monday Night Football. In baseball, Joey Cantillo wasn't even supposed to start last night for the Guardians, but a blister on the finger of scheduled starter Alex Cobb put Cantillo on the mound in Chicago. All he did was retire the first 20 White Sox batters. The perfect game ended with 2 outs in the 7th when Andrew Benintendi singled to right. Cleveland went on to win 5-3. Nick Martinez was just as good for the Reds. He allowed just 2 hits over 7 innings in a 1-0 shutout of the Braves in Atlanta. This Sports Center is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa credit card from BMI FCU. Apply at bmifcu.org/Visa.
What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. We're going to check in with Schlegs here in a few minutes' time. And then at 8:35, the Bishop of Bishop and Friends, Uncle Beau. Uncle Beau Bishop, if you're wondering his full name. He's going to join the program coming up here at 8:35. We'll talk a little Cleveland Browns football with him.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
And here in about 4 hours' time at noon, abbreviated Ryan Day press conference. Saw
20 minutes.
Email from Jerry yesterday that said it's going to be about a 20-minute presser today around noon. So it's not going to be like the full, he usually goes like 30, 35 minutes, somewhere around there. So a 20-minute presser sometime around noon today, Bob, is when we're going to get the Ryan Day press conference a little bit later on. So we got all kinds of good stuff coming up for you here in a little bit. Guards take game number 1 against the Sox yesterday, 5-3, 7:40 tonight. Would you say 7 1/3, Shark? A perfect baseball?
6 2/3.
6 2/3. Didn't quite get to the 7 threshold. Stephen Vogt was excited that he didn't continue the perfect game because he said, I don't know what I would have done with his arm. He's 23 years old. We're worried about that. But they do win 5-3 against the White Sox. 7:40 tonight back on the south side. Reds 1, Braves nothing. Didn't have that my selection set from yesterday. 7:45 in St. Louis tonight. And then Monday Night Football last night. The Jets lose their opener of the season 32-19 out in the Bay Area against the San Francisco 49ers. It's that time of the week. Let's check in with Schlegel.
The best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
Sponsored by Sugar Shannara Accident Attorneys. We go to war for you at warforyou.com. That's warforyou.com.
And this time every Tuesday, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking with the man. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Schleg Day, buddy. What's going on?
What's crapping in Columbus? Hey, it's a good day. It's Tuesday. Doing some legs. Feeling frothy. Buckeyes win. What do you guys want to talk about? I can talk for days.
Let's talk about the Buckeyes. 99 yards on defense. That was pretty awesome. And a shutout. That was great.
What the Sam Dickens are we talking about? Like on the Bobby Carpenter show, you know, we discuss these things. And really, when it's like, hey, who are you going to give the defensive player of the game to? Like they obviously gave it to Ty Hamilton. He had a great game. And side nugget, like honestly, do you guys just look at the size of his arms? Like his arms are ginormous. Like they're so girthy. All right, and Ty's automatically a really strong dude and a great dude. But good to see him that he did that. Here's the thing. There was a quote out there by the head coach of Western Michigan. He was like, yeah, they are even, bigger and scarier in person. Now, but we also, yep, that is a scary thing right there. Yeah. But here's the deal. It's a team effort. It's a mindset. It's an attitude. And we've been talking about it since January. It's just fast, hard, and violent. And I think, and Ryan has alluded to it, right? You want to play fast. Like, obviously, there's a ton of speed all over the field. But also playing fast has to do with knowing what to do, football IQ, et cetera. Playing hard, he's like, hey, one of the things that we want is, for Champions Club, like, great out of champion, yes, but is when they throw on the tape, like, are we playing hard? Because that's something that you can control. And then the violence that they're playing, which is especially on defense. And I'm going to say this, too, like, people just go watch blocks. I think it was like the first or second play of the deal where Austin, as I just called him, Austin leg drive. He's like a sophomore. He already has a sweet receding hairline. I love him. But he blocked the guy into the sideline. I saw G was blocked another dude in the sideline, and then Carnell got like a 36-yard pass after that play. And, guys, like, people were finishing, and we talked about it even in the first week. Like, that's what you want to see, corrections, right, and then executing. And they did that. They pulled the guard. Boom, they kick out with the guard, run up with the tight end on that. They did it all game long. Now you're going to see other things happen off of that, right? You're going to see where, like, if I'm playing Ohio State as a linebacker, Bob, and you would know this too, like, you down block and you run that scheme, boom, spill over the top. But then guess what happens? Now that's where the play action pass happens, right? And all those things. So it's like, boom, we're going to try and stop Trey. We're going to try to stop Q, and poof, David Copperfield. We're going to throw a hitch to JJ. He's going to take it 70 yards to the house, or we're going to throw this to Emeka and shoot. Brandon Ennis had a good one where it was like a post, like a 7. I don't know what it was. Boom, but he actually went flatter than what that would be. So, anyways, great route. Carnell, like, guys, listen, man, there's talent all over the place. When it comes down to executing, I thought they executed really, really well.
Slugs, if you're the middle linebacker, you had a great read on that play action where they run the little flat curl, little hook in behind it with Will. Do you think you would have been able to turn and catch JJ?
I would not have. First off, I know myself, right? So, like, here's the point. Would I have even been in that position? So he was the number 1 receiver that became the 2, right? And then, let's see, what did the inside guy do, Bob, on that play?
He ran flat.
Okay, so yeah, curl flat, right?
Yeah.
The hard thing with that is, especially in zone, are you pushing through that? So that would mean I'm the hook curl guy. But again, they're that wide. I'm like, geez, that sounds terrible. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a bad predicament. Like, I'd be like, Coach, don't put me in that spot, bro. Like, now, if you're like, hey, what did the back do on that?
I'm trying to pull it up so I can see, but I think the back went to that side.
If the back went to that side, you automatically have to expand, right? That's the first thing. But, like, guys, like, here's the deal. You're not expecting a 7-yard curl. You're going to have to make that play. You know what? I was watching the good game last night, Rams-Lions, by the way. They ran one, and it was like Cooper Kupp did one, and you're like a linebacker. Oh, no. It was Jamison Williams. He was coming on like a crossing route. I'm like, dude, if you're a linebacker and you're playing that run really hard and you don't jam him, right, or you're 4 and first crosser and they flood that way and you're like the weak side linebacker and you're going like, hey, man, just be slow to go because look at who you got coming across. I think he might have even motioned in. But again, guys, listen, and this is just for the general public. Those are all the things that you're doing. They're like, well, why don't they just sit on that? Like, why? Guys, there's like a bunch of stuff that you're processing, and yes, they should, right? But also you've been getting a heavy dose of certain things all game. And then very slightly, they change personnel or they put a different guy in motion to set up the same formation, but now he's going to be running the over on like 4 and first crosser deal, right? Because they think that you got you right. And that's also why those guys are motioning and trading. You guys don't really realize, and this is what I love about Chip stuff, like he didn't even open it up. He just window dressed things that we haven't seen before.
It's like wigs and costumes.
Now everybody, who doesn't like, what's it, crossplay? Who doesn't like that, Bob? I know you do. Shark does for sure. But that being said, like you got to see all those different things, and it puts the defensive guys in a bind. That goes into film study. That goes into, football IQ, but there's a lot to process. And when you throw in the talent on top of it, and you got guys playing very, very hard. Guys, I don't know if I saw a running back go sideways or backward in that entire game.
I think Peoples lost 2 yards. That was the only negative rushing that there was, I think, in the game.
But let's go back to what everybody was talking about the last week versus Akron. And again, I know it's Western Michigan, but it's also Western Michigan that played at Wisconsin like 19-12 or whatever it was, right? And that were successful on third down in that game, better than Wisconsin was, So we did what we wanted to do in this game as far as like everything that we talked about. You and I on the show, Bob, start out fast. They started fast, bro. They started fast. They played fast, started violent for 4 quarters. It didn't matter who you threw in the game. Guys were executing. Sand went 2 for 2. Devin went 5 for 5. Will started out 10 for 10. Like you look at the totality of the game, and then even, people that are hindsight 20, well, they didn't have this guy or this guy. You still got to go execute. And they did. And for a defense to shut out and then hold a team in college football to less than 99 yards, and then also go backward in the standings and it's crazy, but it's cool. You know what? I'll give Texas a pass because they beat that team up north, a.k.a. Michigan, in the Big House. I was really thrilling to watch that game, but still, great performance. Great performance.
Hey, before we get you out of here, how about your boy K-Mac? Because I think we've been talking about him for a little bit of time here, and I think Ohio State fans got a taste of just how good that guy can be on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing, guys, that you guys got to understand. You play Akron, you play Western Michigan, you're off, right? Which is good and bad being this early, but it's fine. You're going to train through it. Then you're going to have a little bit of time over the weekend to recoup, right? Regather yourself. And then now it's go time. You got Marshall. The thing that they're trying to develop right now is the depth, especially the depth on the offensive line and defensive line, right? The interior guys. You know the depth they have on the perimeter when it comes to the defensive ends, but it's growing, right? Live situations, the depth on the interior of the defensive line and the depth on the offensive line, because you're only as valuable as your second best option, and the only way that you can have second best options is if coaches and players absolutely trust those guys. And so that was great to see from K-Mac. You've seen it from the secondary. Aaron Scott had some good plays. Jalen McClain had it. I'll tell you this, one thing too, and I've said this from the jump, just being able to witness it, but in that game, Caleb Downs plays really, really fast and physical guys. Now, he read and reacts, and I think Jake talked about it on the cat. Like, he pulls the trigger, right? Like, there's no when he decides to come downhill, the dude's coming downhill now. And again, I think it's great because it allows Lathan to do kind of what Lathan does, right? He can sit back and he can read, but he reminds me of just probably a more athletic, fluid Dante. Like, he is that type of guy because he'll come down and play in the box. He's very, very physical, but you have two safeties that are extremely physical guys. I mean, everybody's out there. It's just the prerequisite. So it was good to see some of those younger guys in the back end of the game, but even the guys moving forward play really fast. But yes, K-Mac, we need to work on McDonald's. I don't know what they're doing right now, but that would be a good Columbus thing, just like we had the Schlegel, for K's, the Schlegel or whatever. We could do something local market with. We know guys that own a bunch of McDonald's in Columbus, Ohio, Bob. I'll leave it to you because you're there more often. Let's make that happen.
Always appreciate the time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
I'm going to go do heavy legs just for you guys, Columbus.
There he goes. Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
For you, Beam.
Just for me. From the starters to the bench, this Buckeye team was heavily involved in their blowout of Western Michigan. That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching a crash on 670 eastbound right near Selzer Road that has the right lane blocked off as crews work to clear that up. And on I-70 westbound, still watching a little bit of slow-moving traffic because of a crash that has the left lane blocked just past Hague Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Amy Suckerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Watch the PGA Tour's Next Generation at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship at the Ohio State University Golf Club, September 19th through 22nd. Pub 13 drink specials, food trucks, and more. Get your free tickets at ncc-golf.com.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free, and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Football is all about scoring big, and so is Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With 4 dealerships and a collision center, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Our Carvenience service picks up your car, gives you a rental, and returns it without you lifting a finger. Score big today. Experience the difference and visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
It's Thursday Night Football on ESPN Columbus and the Fans HD2. Catch the Bills and Dolphins from Miami. Live coverage starts Thursday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home for the NFL, The Fan.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate
today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot of sunshine out there today. Temperatures remain above average with a high of 86. Sunny tomorrow, high of 90. Sunny on Thursday with highs in the 90s. And then clouds return on Friday with highs back down to the 80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment, Uncle Beau, a.k.a. Beau Bishop. He's going to join the program. We'll talk some Browns with him.
He's the host of Bishop and Friends.
He is the host of Bishop and Friends. And
he's going to get that by the last name.
I was going to say 40 minutes early. Now would be 40 minutes early. He's going to join us around 8:33, which will be 27 minutes earlier than what he's usually on. They're on from 9 a.m. to noon. So he's going to join us coming up here in the next segment. We'll talk some Browns.
Ooh, talk that new lawsuit on Deshaun.
That's rough, and it is gnarly.
Beau said he read it 3 times.
You can
just
read
for the
that.
content.
You can read that. I'm not going to read it on the air because it is pretty graphic.
Here's all you need to know, Beam. I haven't read it. You told me it sounded very similar to the last ones.
Maybe worse.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
maybe worse.
Okay. Well,
worse. I think I'm going to take the maybe out of that. Worse.
Really?
Yeah, bad.
Some pretty graphic stuff in the last one.
Yeah, there's some pretty graphic stuff in this new one, too. Hey, before we go on any further.
There we go. Let's get to something more positive. You hear the sound, you know it's a Tuesday. That means it's an appetizer Tuesday. The featured appetizer Rooster is going to be $3 all day long. That featured appetizer Beam is going to be tasty, the delicious, the favorite of Schlegel and Berm, the mac and cheese bites. The mac and cheese you can eat with your hands. They like to put a little hot sauce on them. You can dip them in just about anything. They're good. They're $3 all day long. And plus, they have the Buckeye giveaway. Go to roosterswings.com or check the QR codes when you head on in there. Scan them. They got 2 more big giveaways, 4 winners each time. So make sure you register. Vote early. Vote often. Shark told me that. And now, Beam, we're going to give away a $50 gift card. Roosters, they're just in the giving mood for everybody.
614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Get the correct answer into That's What He Said, and you'll be walking away with a $50 gift card to our good friends over at Roosters. You started off the show, I don't even know how we got onto this subject, but you were talking about something that was frequently used in baseballs in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and I was unaware of these things. What was I unaware of? 614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Get the answer into Shark, and you'll be walking away with a $50 gift card over to our good friends over at Roosters. I love, too, by the way, that Schleg's, like, when we talk to him, there's really no need for us to ask him questions because multiple times, and again, if you've been listening for when he started the show with us or when we call him every week, or if you watch your show that you do with him, the Bobby Carpenter Show, there's really no need for anybody else to be in the room because he ping-pongs back of himself and will ask himself questions in the middle of a thought and then just divert totally somewhere else.
That's weird. I mean, I don't know anybody that's schizophrenic, but I feel like there might be a couple other people in there with Schlegs from time to time that are adding thoughts and comments because he's commenting on things that no one else has said And so I don't know where he's hearing these different thoughts bounce around. And so,
like you said, I didn't say anything.
And say, like Bob said, who are you talking to, buddy? I said that yesterday.
Yeah.
Like how you're referencing something that nobody else knew that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going on? I don't know. He's one of the best. He's one of our favorites. And one of the great things on our show, I've got some comments in our YouTube chat because Schlegel does, like we'll have AJ, we had AJ on.
Mm-hmm.
Schlegel does like the hawk signal. And they're like, I love Schlegel's hand signals during the show, like to symbolize if it's some sort of sign language, as he's the signer over there beside his speech, but he's just making them up as he goes. It's more of an interpretive dance session.
He's also the only person I know that just talks in phrases. 90% of his vernacular.
Sound bites. I said it's like reading a comic book from the 50s. Pow, boom, poof.
You're right.
I mean, like, it's just speech pops everywhere.
Charge it to winning.
So good.
Move David Copperfield.
Will our heroes rescue the lovely lady and save the day? Find out next week.
Poof David Copperfield. Attack and dominate.
There you go. Same bad time, same bad channel.
So Ryan Day's going to have a press conference a little bit later than noon today. You can listen to that here on the Fan a little bit later on. He did make his weekly call into Buckeye Roundtable. How about getting 80 guys involved in this game on Saturday?
Everybody's engaged. I felt like we had a good week of practice. And it was everybody involved. It was the guys who were on the scout team, and quite a few guys who were on the scout team played in the game. And it was ones versus twos, good on good. It was just across the board. It was a good a week of practice. And if we can continue to do that, then we'll have a chance. But I think it was a great example of when Denzel was taken out of the game, Jermaine Matthews had to go right in. I mean, these are the types of things that are going to happen this season, and so depth is important, like we talked about. So we'll make sure that we keep hammering that with the guys and keep giving them opportunities when appropriate.
80 players, 8-0. That is a lot of work that everyone got on Saturday night.
It is. And like you said, some of it wasn't like it was garbage time. I mean, early in the game, Denzel Burke goes out. Most teams would panic. You know that you've got Jermaine Dupri Matthews coming in there where the party at, and he's going to go, like Schlegel said, the 20 little pit bulls inside of him are going to go out there and compete with the fire of 1,000 suns.
Not my Theo, not my pit bull. That guy's a couch hippo.
Well, this guy, he's an angry little elf, and he likes to get after it. And Jermaine's tremendous. And so that's the
He
depth.
played awesome.
He did. That's what I'm saying. He came in and you're like, there's no discernible drop off. That's not a knock on Denzel. That's a compliment to the depth and competition that's been built in this room. But when you have to guard the receivers that they have every day, it's either compete or get beat, man. Like, you're going to get exposed.
I don't know if I saw one pass thrown his way. Not off the just recollection.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, maybe there was one, but because when he came in, when Denzel got ejected, which I still can't believe that was called targeting. It wasn't a flag on the field. You went back to the booth. Offensive player isn't defenseless. Lowered his helmet. Denzel lowered his helmet as well. Hit him in the helmet with his helmet, but there was no ill
full
intent.
Run. I mean, it's a bang football play of guys running at each other.
Yeah, he came in and I'm like, boy, all right, Jermaine, you're next up. I'm excited to get to watch you. And then I'm like, I don't recall like seeing him on the field. Like, that's how he just eliminated the side of the ball.
Good player, man. He's a good young player, and that's what they have here. That's competition that they built.
How about the interior defensive line and the game that Ty Hamilton had against Western Michigan?
Ty Hamilton really had a challenge. Their center was a guy that was a projected draft pick, and as we looked at the film, and certainly that Wisconsin game, we had a lot of respect for him coming into the game, and so it was a challenge for Ty going into the game, and he kind of got after him early on, and then kind of took it from there. It was very disruptive, had a sack, a couple TFLs, and so we thought he played very, very well.
Yeah, Ty Hamilton did play well, and their center went out early in the game too. I don't know what it looks like if he's in the
Ty
game.
Hamilton picked him up and slipped. Like, there's a bad feeling you've had in football before, as you can feel yourself like being lifted off the ground helplessly, and that's what Ty Hamilton did to him.
I know this is going to hurt when I come down.
Yes. It's like slow motion.
You noticed this over the first couple of weeks? Like, the amount of players who got hurt against Ohio State playing for Akron was a lot.
Yeah, I would have came out too.
And then Western was the same way. And then their coach after the game saying they are bigger and scarier in person.
The Monstars. I mean, that's unbelievable. Absolutely remarkable with what they did inside. Tyleek's been great, and it was great to see Ty Hamilton, Pickerington native, playing really well. Legacy brother played here and just dominating, like raw strength and power up front. And that's what we're going to need. Like, to be able to beat the elite teams, you have to have elite play from inside at the tackle position.
Tyler from Thornville, he's the winner of the $50 Roosters gift card. We were talking about this a little bit earlier in the show, Bob. What did I not know existed in baseball?
Greenies.
Yeah. Had no idea what it was.
I don't know how that's the case.
Yeah,
But
I knew amphetamines was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they had termed them greenies.
What do you think picks you up after a long weekend, Slick?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe with some maple syrup. The Browns put up a stinker in week 1. Beau Bishop, he hosts the show right after us. It's called Bishop and Friends. He joins us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching crews clear up a crash on 670 eastbound right at Stelzer Road. The right lane slightly blocked off over there. And over on I-70 westbound, still a little bit of slow-moving traffic just past Hague Avenue from a crash earlier this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, if erectile dysfunction is affecting you, getting treated could have a dramatic impact on your relationship and your outlook on life. But it's also important where you get treated because your health matters. And working with an organization that practices excellent medicine and has significant expertise in men's sexual health can often result in a far better outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're seeking a quality provider to treat your ED or are just not satisfied with your current situation, call us. We'll show you a true 5-star experience and work with you to find the right treatment for your specific medical situation. At Tri-State Men's Health, we truly are experts in men's sexual health. But it's more than that. Unlike the online pill pushers or so-called men's clinics that only offer one or a few treatment options, we offer the full spectrum of ED protocols. We can even use combinative therapies for better results. At Tri-State Men's Health, your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to go back to school? With Giant Eagle and Market District, of course. From lunchbox favorites to fun after-school snacks, they make it easy to care for growing minds and stomachs. And with their Deals for School Days program, you'll enjoy savings on thousands of items throughout the store. But don't wait. Featured items are only available at these low prices for a limited time. So stop in and stock up for the ultimate back-to-school pantry. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Oh, what?
Would you please just call the Waterworks?
At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Better care, better value, better results.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
My name is Marsha Blanks, and I live here in Cleveland, Ohio. Like a lot of African Americans, diabetes runs in our family. I have diabetes, and my husband has diabetes. His was worse than mine, and we made the decision that he would go on the insulin and I would not. It was too expensive. The drug companies are making a fortune. Nothing changed with the formulas, so why was it becoming so expensive? When I heard that Sherrod Brown had capped insulin at $35, it meant that I could now take insulin and control my diabetes even better. It was a godsend. I'm feeling better. I'm losing weight. Sherrod, he stood up to the drug companies, and he actually won. And that showed me that he cared about us. I am 66 years old, and I do not plan on slowing down. And that's thanks to Sherrod, because I got the medicine I needed.
I'm Sherrod Brown running for Senate. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Sherrod Brown.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch every game, every Sunday, all in one place. Which means you can watch the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and the Lions, and the Cowboys, and the Jets. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game, every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's Long here, a little Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. It's time to check with our favorite uncle.
Beau knows bourbon. Beau knows fashion. Beau knows horseback riding. But most importantly, Beau knows Browns.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, home of the best blended whiskey in America. Grab a bottle or dine in at their 2 restaurant locations in Grandview and Gahanna. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Our favorite uncle, he is Beau Bishop. Unc, happy Tuesday to you. What's happening?
Gosh, isn't it great? A little hotter than I'd like it to be. But, I mean, this is it. This is peak Ohio.
You can still go apple picking right now. It's fine.
Gosh, we're almost there. Little apple pick. You do that yet with Billy the Kid? You take him out to the Fall Fest?
No. You mean the Bee Fest? Let's be honest with what the apple juice for. They got the juice everywhere, Beau, the pumpkins.
It's a mess.
And it's just literally walking into a beehive. I've never been there where there's not been at least one kid stung by a bee.
Make sure you wear flannel, too, even though it's 90 degrees outside, because we want to get those sweet pictures.
You got to get the sweet pictures. Yeah, what I do is I usually get a couple of jugs of the fresh cider, and then I save that for cocktails in the winter.
Yes.
That's usually my approach to that. Yeah.
You know, it was amazing. My friends in Dallas, they went to Ole Miss, so they were all about the hot toddy, Beau. I mean, they'd get a little cider in there, get some lemon, get your bourbon. I mean, it's a pretty nice little treat that we'd have.
Oh, I still, if I'm congested or whatever in the winter months, I'll throw down. I have a old granddad's old cough medicine recipe that I give once a year that has a little of those details, and it works like a depth charge.
I like a heavy lemon squeeze in mine.
Yeah. That's a little bit of honey.
I think it's working with you from all those years. I think I just picked up on that recipe and I never actually forgot it. What happened on Sunday? I mean.
I had a great day. It was we were out by the pool, boys flopping around, played a little catch, had a catch. What are you talking about? What did I miss?
The Bears not scoring an offensive touchdown and still win the game.
At least you won. Look, they had one. They did everything this offseason, guys, to put him in a position to have success. Mm-hmm. Right? They got a bunch of fast, quick, separating receivers, and namely Jerry Jeudy is among that. And the idea was these guys can run option routes. They will get open in space. It will become abundantly clear that they're open, and he will throw the damn football. That did not happen. They were going to run primarily out of the shotgun. That's something that they thought would make him comfortable. Kevin Stefanski's a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year, and he got to that because of his offensive acumen and the way that he schemes it. He schemes guys open. And you saw it at the end of the season last year when Flacco was the quarterback, and they kind of pushed all that aside and they went to this new way to make Deshaun comfortable. And from what it looked like to me, no one was comfortable. And it's easy, and I think correct, to place a lot of the blame on him. But the offensive line was brutal as well. They were getting a ton of push right up the middle. I haven't seen Batonio push like that in a very, very long time. I actually asked Joe Thomas about it yesterday, and one thing that he said, because some of the PFF numbers on their offensive line play were just so pathetic, and he said one thing about that to pay attention to, if you're an offensive line and you have a quarterback who is going to drop to a certain spot consistently, it's much, much easier. So he brought up Brady. Like, Brady gets rid of it in 3 seconds. He drops to the same spot. You didn't need Joe Thomas on the offensive line because they were in the same spot all the time. You protect that spot and away you go. He said when he blocked for Seneca Wallace, and yeah, it's a little troubling that he compared Deshaun Watson to Seneca Wallace. The problem was that Seneca would drift all over the pocket. Yeah. And so they would look worse on film than they were because he wouldn't be where he was supposed to be in the pocket.
Tapping that ball, and it's a problem.
Yeah. So not great, boys. Not great.
Better that than the new lawsuit that apparently came out that Beam informed me of this morning?
Yeah. I kind of have a policy of when I get into things that are out of my depth, I'll steer clear of that. I would just say civil lawsuit from 2020, and if it's the first anyone's heard of it in that facility, then that's a big problem. Now, if this is someone who was known and it was like, hey, this is out here too, then we'll see how all of that handles. But from what I understand, this would be a different line of punishment than what previously was doled out to him a couple of years ago. And if there wasn't previous knowledge from the front office up there, I'm guessing it was a very long night up in Berea trying to sort through that thing. It's a tricky one. It's 4 years ago. This is, however, the first time there was sexual assault allegations, so there's that part of it. Who knows? Hard to know how to handle it. Just one more thing, though, right? I mean, it's just a never-ending one more thing.
That's what I said this morning, Beau. I'm like, I'm not going to read it to you because it is rather graphic. I read it yesterday. Yeah. I'm sure that you did. I'm like, you can go and read it for yourselves. But, yeah, I mean, if that is new knowledge, then you were right. That is a massive, massive problem, not only for the Browns, but for the NFL as well. So, that's a situation that is ongoing up there, I'm sure. But there's a lot of other stuff going on here this weekend. I just don't I'm with you on the line of thinking. I mean, I know that we talked about this through training camp in the preseason. Like, we get some bad ball being played. Some really bad ball being played across the NFL.
Yeah, and, I think just from the, and Cincinnati was bad too, and Cleveland was bad. And I think and Bob could speak to this because you lived it, but like, I think that you need to have some reps. Like Manning was pretty adamant last night on Manning Cast, like really crushing guys. Like,
he smoked Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, get some reps. Like, you can see what's happening. Even on the play where they were livid that Garrett Wilson wasn't on the page as Aaron Rodgers. That was a huge play in the game last night, and he was livid that they weren't on the same page. He goes, "This is what happens. Game reps are different than practice reps." So I think that's probably part of it. I also think like, a lot of the league uses these first few games as almost like extended preseason because you're playing 17 games. Belichick was always like, let's be at our best at Halloween. I think I'm right on that, Bob. That's always the way that the story was told to me, is that you want to be where you need to be at Halloween. So, I think that's part of it too. The one thing I would say with Cleveland's problems, though, is there's no get out of jail free card with him. If he, and whatever's going on off the field aside, whatever he is on the field, they have got to find a way to get the maximum out of that, because there isn't a way out for them. They don't have Joe Flacco anymore on that roster. Jameis could be an improvement. Who knows? But like, Flacco was really built for what Stefanski wants to do, and he sees it the way Stefanski saw it. By the way, Flacco wasn't outrageous. He threw for a lot of yards. He threw a bunch of picks too. But it showed you what it's possible, right? When you just throw it where you're supposed to be. And they didn't have Nick Chubb, and they didn't have two tackles. They were in their 5th and 6th tackles last year when they made that run in December. So in a very similar, in a much worse situation than they were in game one. So it was awfully discouraging, to say the least, the way they started, and probably alarmist for what's to come. You try not to overreact week one, right? But there was some stuff that I saw on Sunday that to me felt finite.
Did Joe bring up, and I understand Joe's point 100% with the dropping of the quarterback and the fixed spot, and you go watch Drew Brees and Tom Brady, two guys that did it better than anyone. They would drop deep, climb the pocket, always set in the same area, and it made it very easy. But also the loss of Bill Callahan and him not being involved with that O-line.
Yeah, we talked about that too, Bob. And the thing that I don't think most people realize with Callahan was, and Wyatt Teller said something maybe the second week of practice where he said, my body feels better because I'm not being coached. It's not as hard. And so he goes, he was appreciative. His body felt better. Bill Callahan, this is the way I would explain it to people. Bill Callahan would say, this is exactly where your foot has to be, and it's non-negotiable. Okay? Yeah. Andy Dickerson's approach is, this is what we're trying to do. I don't care how you do it, but this is what we're trying to get to. So that difference, I think, allowed for what Callahan got out of offensive linemen, especially on short notice. Think about it, over Stefanski's tenure. Like, they've lost all the tackles last year, and it all kind of worked out okay. So I think that attention to detail that Bill had is not there as much anymore. And the other thing that Bill did that not many people realized was Bill was a huge part in the daily game plan of the run game.
Yeah.
So that is something that he really had a heavy hand on with Stefanski, and now all of that is gone. And it was odd that, you watch on Sunday, like, they didn't try to establish the run really at all. Now, they were behind the sticks. It was weird circumstances, but like, even when the game was close, they didn't try to establish the run really at all. And there was no reason that they were unable to run the ball against Dallas. Dallas got a good defense, but I mean, they started a rookie at corner. Like there was a way to attack them, and they didn't at all.
To give you kind of a situation at my house, my one neighbor knows nothing about football at all. I didn't know that Jim Tressel was fired until a couple of years ago. So, like, that's on one side of the house. Other side of the house, big Cleveland fan, Guards, Cavs, Browns. At about 6:15 p.m., he was out detailing his car. So, like, I mean, that was kind of the situation for him, and I understood it. I get it.
Yeah, the thing that it's frustrating. You would think that I drafted this roster, that I acquired Deshaun Watson. I got like 1,000 text messages. What happened? He sucked. As if I put the roster together. Like, I didn't have anything to do with it, folks. Friends and family listening. I didn't put the roster together. I didn't acquire Deshaun Watson. It wasn't. I was not on the watch for that. I think the thing that's really hard though is everything else checks.
Yeah.
The defense is really good. They got good weapons. Their offensive line is really good, even if it's aging a little bit. It's really good. There's a ton of talent. But if he can't get it figured out, they don't have an off-ramp for another option. And that's pretty brutal. And the cap hit is enormous. They wouldn't worry about that in terms of writing the check. I mean, they'd do that. But that's where you are, which is not where anybody thought you'd be after game one.
And that's the worst part. It's week 1. It's not like it's week 8 or week 9. It's week 1. Tweet your Browns roster complaints to @BeauBishop. Uncle, always appreciate the time. Have a great show today.
All right, boys. See you.
There he goes. Uncle Beau with us at this time every single Tuesday.
Well, but maybe you start pulling for that lawsuit. Maybe that's the winner that you're looking for, the white knight to save you, Shark, from the Deshaun experiment. I want to tell all business owners out there, listen, my friend Brad Hennebert from Premier Tax Advisors, give him a call. Brad works with small and large businesses to integrate your financial planning in your business accounting. Every business is wholly unique. Brad will help you address your specific needs with monthly and quarterly consultations. They're not just reactive meetings at tax time to try to clean things up from the year before. So talk to Brad. You'll get some expert financial and tax planning advice all year long. We had a great talk the other day.
I met him. Seems like a lovely guy.
Oh, he's great. And probably going to help me moving forward. So call Brad at Premier Tax Advisors at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
We're going to reveal our fan poll coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching slow-moving traffic on 270 westbound on the north side of town. This is just past the 315 split. The right shoulder blocked off over there as crews are clearing a crash. Crews also clearing up a crash on 670 eastbound right near the airport as they work to clear that out, move to the left. And then over on I-70 westbound just past Hague Avenue, we've got the left lane still slightly blocked off from a crash earlier this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stutterwald with your fan traffic.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Get your game room game day ready with Billiards Plus. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and games the whole family will enjoy. Now's the time to get your name on a pool table before the holiday rush. Plus top-of-the-line grills still in stock. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Guys, if you're only middle-aged but wondering why it seems harder to keep up, you're not alone. It may be caused by low testosterone. Testosterone replacement therapy can help you get back to your best, but not just any TRT. See the provider specialists at Low T Center. They offer advanced, personalized treatments with over a decade of experience. At Low T Center, you'll start with a simple test and get your results in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
The PGA Tour's rising stars are back at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship September 19th through 22nd, and so is Pub 13. Grab your friends, cheer for birdies, and enjoy drink specials on the 13th green. Get your free tickets at ncc-golf.com.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. I picked up my brand new Toyota Tundra last week and I absolutely love it. From my guy Marcello at Germain Toyota. And right now, you can lease the powerful Toyota Tundra SR5 for just $409 per month. That's 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Built to handle tough jobs and thrilling journeys. The Toyota Tundra SR5 is the ultimate companion for work and play. These deals are rolling out fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
Dick from Dayton says, listen to the Ryan Day Show. Paul Keels and Jim Lachey join Coach every Thursday from noon to 1.
Presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Check out this fresh deal on ground beef. 80% lean ground beef in 3-pound packages is only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in today's economy, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Your assets and finances are scrutinized. Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
It's football season, and Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for all the action on the gridiron. With a game-changing rewards program, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats ensures that every fan can catch their favorite teams and players in action. Vivid Seats has you covered with deals that cater to every football enthusiast. And all tickets come back by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, going sunny with a high of 86. Clear tonight, lows in the 50s. Sunny again tomorrow with a high of 90. Partly cloudy on Thursday with a high of 90. And then cloudy on Friday with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Wrapping things up here, a little Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, and we here on the Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. Visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Beau and the boys going to be up after we're done. Bishop and Friends, that's the title of their fine program. Tuesdays with Taberi. That's Dom Taberi. He's going to join the program coming up here at 10:33. Also coming up today at noon, shortened Ryan Day press conference during Improvement Week. Abbreviated press conference. That's right. So, I mean, we have obviously great conversations during the break, and this came up. I'll give you a second to think about it, everybody out there, because Bob and I were asking, what year do you think Field of Dreams came out? I'm like, well, it's got to be mid-'90s, early 90s.
I said 93. Shark said 92.
Yeah, I said like a 94, 95-ish. And Field of Dreams was released May 5th of 1989. James Earl Jones, with his passing away, 93 years old, yes. Correct? Basically, I feel like looked the same from that point until he was old. Yeah, until now.
If you would have told me that he was 85 in that movie, I would have believed you. 80, 75, somewhere in there. And, I mean, that was 30 years ago. I mean, it's crazy. 30 plus years ago.
35 years.
Him and Sean Connery, now that they both have passed, were two guys who I felt like had been old my entire life.
Yes.
And had just never gotten any older. And they just kind of stayed.
Not younger, but just stayed the same age.
They just stayed in that holding pattern. Like, oh, these guys are older. They're great old actors, and they were still doing stuff.
Why
still
am I
out
blanking
there.
on the guy's name? Sam
Elliott.
Yeah,
still
same.
alive. He's doing the.
I know, but he's the same. He's the same way for me.
Sam Elliott has looked about the same for the last 30 years.
He's the same. That's exactly the same way. Now, I am looking at a picture of him from like back in the 80s where he looks awesome.
Sam Elliott?
Yeah.
From Roadhouse? Probably.
Yeah.
That's when he was sweet.
He looks
like even
great.
in The Big Lebowski, like Tombstone, I mean, Sam Elliott has looked about the same. There was just a commercial that they had with him.
Yeah, what was he doing?
Who was going into the house? Was it Gronk? Gronk showing up at the house? Sam Elliott was in there? I had it on. I think I had the sound down so I couldn't see it, but it looked amazing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know what was going on either. There was a ad in 2020 where it was the Cool Ranch for the Dorito.
That sounds even better.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. Shark, how do you rate Field of Dreams? I know that Drew also said Morgan Freeman too. You're right about Morgan.
Morgan Freeman is there.
Yeah, he's
another
also
good one. It's like Shawshank came out in the early 90s, mid 90s.
92, I think.
I feel like he was old in Shawshank.
Yeah.
And
If
he
you look at the movies that came out in 1992, it was a terrific.
Like he looks the same for me when he's in Batman.
And he sounds the same.
Yes.
And your plan is to blackmail
He
that
has like
person?
an old,
Good
those
luck.
guys have like old, mature voices. Like it doesn't make, it's wild. I feel like they've always had that.
How do you rate Field of Dreams, Shark?
I feel I've always felt it was overrated. My brother and I get into this little disagreement about it. He thinks it's the best baseball movie ever.
So does Tim.
I don't
Timmy
think
Hall.
it's in the top, let's say 4.
I think Major League, right?
Number 1's The Natural for me, and then
The Wonder Kid.
I like
Bull Durham.
I like Bull Durham and I like Major League, but I also like
Angels in the Outfield.
A League of Their Own.
That's a good one.
I think A League of Their Own
Hanks,
is really good.
I'm going to tell you this, dude. Hanks is phenomenal in A League of Their Own.
He is, and I think Costner's good in Field of Dreams. James Earl Jones really good. The acting was okay. I just wasn't feeling it 35 years ago.
What about Rookie of the Year? With Henry Rowan Gardner gets a
Yes.
magical arm.
Right. I didn't think that was very good either, Beam. I only saw it once, though.
I think
didn't need to see it again.
The best Kevin Costner baseball movie, though, is For the Love of the Game.
That was good.
You like Renee, that's why.
That was good. Also, The Sandlot with James Earl Jones.
He's great in that.
Is a good baseball
That's probably my
movie.
favorite baseball movie is The Sandlot. I think the Field of Dreams would more so be categorized as like a sci-fi movie than a baseball movie.
I mean, the fact that James Earl Jones, at the age of 90, he would have been, I think, 90 then. Yeah, 'cause he was born in 31. 90 years old. Was in Coming to America, the second one.
2.
It's like 2, like
Yeah.
Coming to America.
Really good in Coming to America. I don't know about Coming into
He's
America.
90 years old.
Right.
Was he still the king of Zamunda at that point?
Yes.
He hadn't passed over?
Joffrey or something.
No, I love him.
Joffrey.
Before we
What
get
was
out,
his name?
Before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. Who will start more games at quarterback this season? Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones, or Will Levis? Titans head coach Brian Callahan,
Yeah.
right? Bill's son.
Tom Callahan.
Big Tom Callahan's uncle or nephew, said that about the Bears game where they lost 24-17. He said, there's a good chance we would have won that game if we just punted on 1st and 10 every play. So, like, to show you how they thought about Will Levis and how he did on Sunday is not very good. Bryce Young and Will Levis leading the way. Deshaun third, Dan Jones last.
I mean, I feel like they should all be benched together, but
I think Bryce Young is
only
going
his-
to be starting a majority.
he's only in his second year.
Yeah.
Unless he gets hurt.
He might get broken in half. That's the
true.
other problem.
Danny, I feel like Danny's not long for being a starting quarterback in the NFL. Bob, had so much fun today. What do you say we reconvene on a Wednesday if they allow us? You good with that?
Let's do it.
Everybody have an awesome day. Uncle Beau and the boys up next. We're back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Tuesday. Right now, we are still watching crews clear up a crash on 270 westbound on the north side of town. This is just past the 315 split. Watch for crews in the right shoulder over there. Also, watch for crews in the right lane of 670 eastbound right at Stelzer Road as they work to clear out a crash near the airport. And then The left lane still slightly blocked off on 70 westbound just past Hague Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a fan action update.
The Heisman Trophy betting market took a big shift this week. Quinn Ewers of Texas now the favorite at 5-1. Cam Ward of Miami is plus 750. Carson Beck, Georgia's plus 850. Preseason Heisman Trophy favorite Dylan Gabriel is now 6th in the odds at 12-1. And Buckeyes, Will Howard 20-1. Jeremiah Smith 75-1. Quinshon Judkins 100-1. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
I had lower back problems and I didn't have any feeling in my right arm and thought, well, I'm going to have another surgery.
But previous surgeries hadn't given this Corning, Ohio native Todd Altier much relief. Desperate for other solutions, he heard about QC Kinetics.
I heard it on the radio. It was a commercial. We decided to go with QC Kinetics. It was one of the best decisions I think we ever made.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments address the pain in your aching joints without invasive surgery, harmful drugs, or steroids.
I wish I would have went there before. I had 4 vertebrae replaced in my neck.
Before going under the knife, you owe it to yourself to schedule a complimentary consultation with QC Kinetics. See if you're a candidate for these non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain.
Yeah, if you're tired of living in pain, give them a shot. Go see what it's all about.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus. That's QCkinetics.com/Columbus. And call QC Kinetics today. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.